have changed and will play beyond forever till the day that I die. You tried to kill me again. I feel no pain, although the scars never mend. Out of your mind.
We're a minute away from kickoff, so we'll throw it to the legendary voice in the eye. This time we'll pass. Stafford right down the middle. He's got a man wide open. It's caught by Massaquoi. 50, 40. So long, everybody. Massaquoi, touchdown.
Stockton in the pocket, sets up, going for the end zone. Can he get it? Yeah! Yeah!
Boykin looking for running room. He's got a convoy down the far sideline. 50, 40, 30, 20. Boykin, touchdown. Yes, sir.
On the 27, it's second down and 12. We go wild dog with Sony. Nauta goes in motion left, snap it to Michelle. He's running to the left, angling 25-20. Got a block from Brock. 50, 10, 5, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Dogs win it. We're headed to Atlanta.
Hello, Bulldog Nation.
No shot, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35. Nobody's gonna catch him. No shot, touchdown. Cool temperatures, plenty of wind, and bright sunshine greeting us today here at Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington, Kentucky, as the Georgia Bulldogs slug it out with their division foe, the Kentucky Wildcats, this afternoon. Hi again, everyone, along with Eric Zier, Lauren Smith, and Neil Williamson. This is Scott Howard. 7-2 Georgia pulls itself up by the bootstraps this week to get ready for 6-3 Kentucky as the Dogs try to win their 8th game of the year for a 12th straight season. A win today would also be the 80th for Coach Mark Richt, now in his 8th season as Georgia's head coach. The Wildcats are bowl eligible for a 3rd straight year, which is no small feat here in Lexington. If the Cats do receive a bowl invitation, Rich Brooks would join legendary Bear Bryant as the only Kentucky coaches to take their teams to 3 straight postseason appearances. Meanwhile, Georgia is not yet eliminated from contention in the East, but last week's loss to Florida certainly makes it extremely difficult. All the Dogs can focus on now is winning and hope Vanderbilt and South Carolina can help the cause. The Cats are beaten up a bit with their playmakers, Derek Locke and Dickie Lyons Jr. out for the season. That's certainly a serious blow, but Georgia's had its share of injuries too, and this, as we know, isn't a league to feel sorry for the other guys. Georgia and Kentucky coming up, and in a few moments I'll talk with Chip Cosby of the Lexington Herald Leader. But right now, let's bring in former Bulldog All-American quarterback Eric Zier for Z's Keys to the Game. They're brought to you by your neighborhood Ford dealers. Eric.
Well, Scott, thank you very much. You know, first key to the game today is you can't let the loss to Florida last week beat you twice. We can't come into this game thinking about what happened last week and the letdown that naturally occurs after that and have it affect our performance today. We've got to stop that right now and focus, execute on the Kentucky Wildcats, because it's a team that through the season has shown they can play teams tough. They played Alabama very, very tight, struggled some here of late, but they've got enough tools and enough weapons to beat you. We have to protect the football. University of Kentucky has 22 takeaways so far this year, 10 fumbles, 12 interceptions. We saw firsthand what giving the ball away does last week, and 2 weeks ago we saw what getting the ball in the form of takeaway does against LSU. We've got to protect the football today. And then last, we've got to score when we get into the red zone. Kentucky ranks 3rd in the SEC. They're 14th in the country right now in red zone defense. Opponents have only punched it in 14 of the 20 times they've been in the red zone. They tighten up when we get down to that area. We've got to get there and get 6 when we have opportunities.
All right, a good start for Georgia today. Very important to the Bulldogs' chances here in Lexington. Georgia and Kentucky, we are counting it down to kickoff. We're less than 30 minutes away from getting this one underway, and we'll continue. Again, I'll talk with Chip Cosby of the Lexington newspaper here in Kentucky. That's next here on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
You're less than 30 minutes away from kickoff. The pregame show is brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Ask how, ask now, ask Sherwin-Williams. The Georgia DOT. For free traffic information, dial 511. LP. Build with us. Auto Owners Insurance. The No Problem People. The Georgia Peanut Commission. And by the Georgia UPC. Call before you dig. Dial 811.
From left to right, that's west to east here at the Commonwealth Stadium configuration. Tim Mastay has it teed up on the 30, and we're almost set to go. Back deep for Georgia is the freshman Richard Samuel as he stands near the goal line. Mastay he's been a boomer on kickoffs this year. He's kicked 19 into the end zone for touchbacks. That's tops in the conference. So they don't even mess with the kick return. They just kick the fool out of it and make the other guy start on the 20.
And Richard Samuel had a couple of nice returns, a couple of scares last week as well, but a couple of nice returns. See if he can duplicate that effort.
Had a 60-yarder against the Gators last week. Here's Mastay, and we are underway here in Kentucky. An end-over-end kick taken by Samuel on the 2, straight ahead to the 10, to the 15, to 20. He's got a lane, hit from behind and knocked forward across the 35, up near the 37-yard line perhaps. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like they will spot it right on the 35-yard line. So Samuel had a nice lane to run right up the middle of the field, and a nice return as he gets it out to the 35, and that's where Georgia will start on offense.
And once again, you see that straight line speed from Richard Samuel. Coach Rick talked about it in the pregame show. Very strong and fast when he gets a head of steam up going downhill.
Dogs start out in the I formation. Marino the tailback, 2 receivers right and 1 to the left. Stafford under center. 4-man front for Kentucky. Will hand it off to Noshan. He cuts to the outside. He's got running room. Marino on his feet into Kentucky territory all the way down to the 44-yard line. David Jones making the tackle. So Marino, just like that, rips off 15, 21 yards. Clint Bowling with a key block to help spring Noshan Marino, and one play, and Georgia's in Kentucky territory.
And the Cats right away just played quarter, so 4 defensive backs straight across the field. They bring one of their defensive backs down into the box, but we do a good job still on the edge for Noshan to get loose.
And that carry puts Noshan over the 1,000-yard mark for the second straight year. Play action fake to Marino, throw it in the right flat. It is caught by Massaquoi on the far side of the field. And out of bounds near the 35-yard line is Muhammad Massaquoi near the first down marker. They'll spot it on the 34-yard line.
Good quick start here by the Georgia offense. Coming out a couple of plays that they're very sure about. Just a quick little swing pass, give Matthew a little bit of confidence after last week's game. And right now they look in sync and ready to play.
Almost a gain of 10 on the play. Second down and a short 1. Smith and McAtee making the stop. I formation for Georgia. Work from the far hash. They'll hand it off straight ahead to Noshan. Running hard through the line of scrimmage. He stumbles at the 30 and falls forward to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 4 on the play and a first down for the Bulldogs inside the Kentucky 30. We are just underway. A stiff wind blowing from the south across the stadium to the north. The flags are whipping hard. Sunny day. 90 seconds in, and the Dogs driving on the Kentucky 29-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Now 3 receivers to the near side and 1 to the right. And Stafford will drop back into the shotgun. Marino's the tail. Snap is low, and Stafford fields it. He throws off balance. Wide open in the corner. Touchdown, Noshawn Marino. Front right corner of the end zone. Excuse me, Mohamed Massaquoi, I'm sorry.
Well, a blown coverage right there from Kentucky. They actually were playing man-to-man, and then the corner came off of Massaquoi on a blitz. Nobody was there. Kentucky tried to recover, but then it was way too late. I didn't think Matthew was going to see him right away, but caught him out of the corner of his eye, then delivered a good ball.
A quick drive for Georgia. It takes just a little more than 90 seconds. Here's Walsh for the point after attempt, and it is good. So Georgia gets the ball, and, they take care of business. They did what they wanted to do, off to a fast start, a touchdown pass from Stafford to Mohamed Massaquoi. We've got a timeout, 7-0 Georgia. Let's pause for these words on the Bulldogs Radio Network.
If you're a Bulldogs fan, remember that Kroger is the right store to help make your next tailgate party a hit. Of course, you don't want to cheer the Dogs on to victory on an empty stomach, so Kroger has all the chips, dips, and soft drinks you're going to need. Or take it up a notch with a couple of hot rotisserie chickens or St. Louis-style ribs, or maybe even a party platter from the deli, made to order with sandwiches, wings, or other favorites. Cheer the Bulldogs on in style and make your tailgate party a hit with a little help from Kroger. Right store, right price.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. I'll be turning off the fastest seatbelt light momentarily, but before I do...
Turn your attention to seat 2A and Brian Finneran, a wide receiver who likes his planes like he likes his football uniforms. New, clean, and roomy in the seat. Which is why Brian Finneran chooses to fly AirTran Airways affordable business class and the newest fleet of planes in the sky. That's not cabin freshener. These planes still smell new, like freshly laid turf on game day. If you'll notice, the fasten seatbelt light is off, so please get on your feet for Brian Finneran.
Please enjoy the remainder of your flight, and thank you for choosing AirTran Airways.
Hi, I'm Brian Finneran. AirTran's always affordable business class seating has plenty of legroom, even with my lanky 6'5" frame. Book at airtran.com today. AirTran Airways. Go. There's nothing stopping you.
Georgia leads Kentucky 7-0. The Bulldogs go 65 yards in 4 plays. 29-yard touchdown pass, Matthew Stafford to Mohamed Massaquoi, the 13th TD throw for Stafford this year, and the 5th touchdown reception for the Bulldogs senior, who has a catch in 31 straight games. Down to the sidelines, and Lauren Smith with his Cook's Pest Control sideline report. Lauren?
Scott, Coach Rick talked to the team pregame about the importance of playing fast, getting out early, and he wanted everybody in the game. And as you can tell, nobody's on the bench over here on the sideline except the offense, which just came off the field. So the sideline is energized. Everybody's up and into the game, and the game started according to what the coaches preferred.
Alfonso Smith and Tony Dixon, the deep men, as Blair Walsh has it teed up on the 30 on the near hash and kicks it end over end, taken on the 7 by Dixon. Straight ahead to the 20, 25, and at the 27, he runs into 3 or 4 white jerseys. Fred Munzenmeyer, Darrell Gamble, Benjamin Boyd, Chad Glower, all of those guys in on the tackle. So Kentucky will start their first offensive possession of the game, 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line.
And it's going to be interesting to see how this Kentucky offense utilizes Randall Cobb today. He can hurt you in a lot of different ways. He's the leading receiver after some injuries on this Kentucky team. Very versatile, good athlete at quarterback.
Cobb at quarterback. Dixon, the tailback, takes the handoff, bursts through the line, straight ahead across the 30, up near the 35. Dent and Curran making the tackle for Georgia, but a quick burst by Tony Dixon, the 5'9" senior from Parrish, Alabama, and a gain of about 8 on the play, close to 8 anyway. The ball touching the 35-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and about 2.5 to go for Kentucky. Cats up to the line of scrimmage, all in blue uniforms today, including the helmets. And Cobb's going to run the option to the near side, pitch it to the back, and that's Smith, Alfonso Smith, taking the pitch. And he'll get close to the 1st down, a gain of a couple on the near sideline for Alfonso Smith. C.J. Bird, the Georgia strong safety, coming up to make the stop.
And a good job there as well by Prince Miller, the cornerback, shedding the block from the Kentucky receiver to get on that play as well.
Shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and short for the Wildcats as they look to the near sideline for the play call. The freshman Randall Cobb out of Alcoa, Tennessee, in the shadow of Knoxville, is the quarterback. I formation, offset I for Kentucky. They'll throw on 3rd and short, and we try to eat him up, and we will sack Cobb back on the 31-yard line. Andrew Gully got in there first, the senior walk-on making his first start, and then Akeem Dent piled on top, and the Dogs defense get the sack on 3rd and short, and Kentucky will have to punt. It's 4th down.
Well, good job by Gully and the Georgia defense, but again, it looked like another blown play from the Kentucky Wildcats there.
Tim Mastay back to punt for Kentucky, and back deep for Georgia is Prince Miller. He stands back on his 30. So 4th down, and the Cats will punt it away. There's the snap, and Mastay gets off a long spiraling kick that is taken by Miller, backpedaling at the 14, straight ahead to the 20. Dodges a man and gets up to the 25, maybe the 26-yard line for Prince Miller and Georgia, and that's where the Bulldogs will go on offense, leading 7-0. Just under 11 minutes to go in quarter number 1. A 54-yard punt, an 11-yard return by Prince Miller, and the Dogs have the ball when we come back. Timeout on the field. Let's pause now for these words on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
Welcome to the AJC Home Finder Neighborhood Tour. You'll be seeing a lot of homes, so sit back, relax, enjoy the ride.
When searching for a home around Atlanta, the AJC Home Finder's like having your own personal guide, online and in the newspaper.
Entering the lovely Ackworth, folks on the left will get a great look at a 6-bedroom, 4.5-bath McMansion. Drive-through window not included. Seriously, near great schools, parks, and great burger joints. You know, AJC Home Finder is your best local resource for finding the right neighborhood. On the right, a Virginia Highlands bungalow, 2,300 square feet. Just a few feet from great eateries, shops, nightlife, and the hip in-towners. Wear your dark shades, folks. Hey, AJC Home Finder knows Atlanta like no other. Do a search and get information about commute times, property values, and more. Woo, 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 woo. Blue light special. Up on the left, a cool midtown loft. Top floor, low price.
Visit AJCHomefinder.com or look for the AJC Home Finder every Sunday in the AJC, where Atlanta finds a home.
It's a must-see.
Catching a man that 10 other men couldn't touch, racing a 70-mile-an-hour ball to the receiver, then one-handed over your shoulder, falling backward, intercepting the ball. Being a safety, that's hard. Signing up for Scana Energy's natural gas service, that's easy. You'll be set up with a competitive rate in a snap. Call 1-877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com with promo code GODOGS for a special offer. Limited time offer for new residential accounts, subject to credit approval. Visit scanaenergy.com for details.
All the people dancing behind him while they're talking. Like I'm watching the
AJC scoreboard: Ohio State Northwestern tied at 7 in the first. North Carolina leading Georgia Tech 7-0 in the first. Michigan with a 3-0 lead on Minnesota in the first quarter, and Texas opens up with a 7-0 lead on Baylor. They are in the first quarter as well. Here it is 7-0 Georgia. The Cats go 3 and out on their first possession. The Dogs went 65 yards on theirs, and now another opportunity as they start 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line. A.J. Green will break out to the far side. Massaquoi to the near side. I formation. Sutherland, the fullback this time, for Noshawn Marino, who's at the tail. Stafford under center, raises up, changes the protection perhaps. He will throw from the I, thrown to the near sideline, and incomplete. Pass intended for Massaquoi at the 35-yard line, broken up by David Jones from behind. Jones out of Red Jacket, West Virginia, broke up the pass play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Georgia.
Well, again, Kentucky just is playing that quarters defense where each of the defensive backs has the deep part of the field behind them. David Jones comes up on that hitch route, makes a play. We're going to have opportunities to go over the top of him as this game continues.
5-men front now for Kentucky as Johnny Williams, the linebacker, sneaks up on the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers to the right, handed off to Noshawn, run to the near side, breaks through a hole across the 30 and up to the 33-yard line perhaps, before he is brought down by Braxton Kelly, who is the Cats' leading tackler, the senior linebacker out of LaGrange, Georgia.
Good work up front there by Ben Jones and Cordy Glenn. Once again, opening up some nice lanes for Noshawn to work through. You have to like what you see so far from this Georgia offense.
Third and about 3.5 to go for Georgia. Two receivers to the right, Durham and Green, and one to the left. That's Massaquoi, and Stafford works from the shotgun. Takes the snap, stands in the pocket, flushed out, runs right. Running and throwing and caught. Noshan caught at the 40. Noshan across the 50. Noshan cuts back at the Cats' 35-yard line and is tackled at the 33-yard line. Marino running after the catch for a huge gain down to the Cats' 34 is where they'll spot it. Shamari Moore, the senior cornerback, finally bringing him down.
Good job there by Matthew Stafford as well, buying himself some time. Good coverage there by the Kentucky defense. Matthew had to roll out to his right, and then Noshan kept working to get open, found a seam, and then a good job running with the ball after the catch.
33-yard gain for Georgia. 1st and 10 for the Dogs at the Cats' 34-yard line. Toss it to Richard Samuel. He runs right side, runs past one tackler, gets up near the 30-yard line for a gain of about 4 on the play. And Trevard Lindley tripped him up. Lindley, another Georgia guy, the junior from Hiram, Georgia. He's their best defensive back. He was like Asher Allen, also named to the semifinal list for the Thorpe Award earlier this week. But the Dogs pick up a handful on 2nd down. About 3 yards for Samuel on the carry that time. So it's 2nd down and 7. And Samuel is the lone setback, stands to the right of Stafford, who's in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the near side and 1 to the right side as the Dogs work from the far hash. Stafford will throw a bullet caught by Massaquoi. Avoids one tackle at the 20. Keeps on his feet down to the 10. He's still driving. He's got 4 blue shirts on him, and now the whistles finally blow, and the play is dead at the 10-yard line. Cobb and Jones holding up Massaquoi. They never got him to the turf. Big Muhammad Massaquai's had some huge catches already, Z, and we're just about 6 or 7 minutes into the ball game.
Yeah, he really has. Kentucky there manned up, just a simple slant pattern. Out of the shotgun for Georgia. Matthew did a good job catching it and delivered another strike to Momass.
Marino back in at the tail. 2 receivers to the right side. Kentucky jumps but gets back, and now Stafford working out of the eye will change the play. 1st and goal from the 10. Handoff Marino. Big hole on the right side. A gain of 4 down to the 6-yard line. As Marino running behind Anderson and Davis on that right side of the line of scrimmage. Micah Johnson, the middle linebacker from Fort Campbell, Kentucky, makes the stop. 2nd and goal from the Kentucky 6-yard line.
Scott, I'm not sure if we've made any kind of fundamental change there, but all year long when we've had the defensive team jump on any kind of hard count, we've snapped it and taken a knee. Didn't do it there. You know, we've been burned on that a couple of times this year.
We bunched 3 receivers tight on the right end of the line of scrimmage. And Marino is the lone setback. Under center, Stafford. We bring a man in motion. That's the fullback, Sutherland. Back and forth. They'll hand it to Noshan. He runs straight ahead, breaks past the 5, fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown. He was just jerking his upper body across the goal line, pulling away from a blue shirt to get 6 more for the Dogs, and it's 13-0.
Great determination there from Noshan, just running through people. Last 3 or 4 yards of that touchdown run, he was just moving and mowing right through several Kentucky defenders.
6-yard touchdown run for Noshan. Blair Walsh for the point after. It's put down by Mims, and the kick is right through the uprights good. And just like that, it's 14-0. And this is the perfect start that Georgia had hoped for. 2 possessions and 2 touchdowns. 7:38 to go, first quarter here in Lexington. It's the Bulldogs 14, the Wildcats nothing. Back in a moment on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Barbara Dooley.
Which obviously means I'm Vince Dooley.
And together we are serious doers.
So when it comes to working with a strong financial business partner, we choose Georgian Bank.
They never say never when it comes to exploring our ideas.
They always say can do, Dooleys.
They'd never say, we'll get back to you sometime.
They always say, what do you need and when do you need it?
So if you're a serious doer, you'll never want to bank anyplace else.
Georgian Bank. Never business as usual.
Never, ever.
Member FDIC. WTG Team. WTG Team.
Hold on, ladies. WTG? What does that stand for? That's not on our cheer list.
It means way to go team. We're cheering in text message language. It saves our voices, Coach. Plus, everyone at school knows it, especially now that AT&T is offering Family Talk with unlimited text messaging. That's unlimited text messaging to anyone on any network.
So that's why I don't understand my daughter these days. What does the IDW mean?
I don't wanna. That's one of my favorite phrases, too.
I've got to get this AT&T Family Talk with text messaging. Do you really get unlimited text messaging to anyone on any network?
Absolutely. Just switch to AT&T and you'll be GTG.
GTG?
Good to go. Our parents got it for us and they love it as much as we do.
Did they eventually understand you?
You're talking about text messaging, right?
Never mind. I'll get it. ASAP?
AT&T. Your world. Delivered.
15 years old, we're in the back of Latin 2 class. We've got the dictionaries all over in the Latin class, you know. We're back there looking up dirty words. In our
Georgia leads at 14-0 over Kentucky here first quarter as we check the AJC scoreboard. Ohio State 17-7 leading Northwestern. They are in the second. Pittsburgh 10-0 on Louisville in the second. Georgia Southern has a 10-0 lead on Samford in the first, and Michigan is leading Minnesota 6-0. They are in the second quarter, and we go down to the sidelines and Lauren Smith. Lauren?
Coach Willie Martinez gathered his defense together just a moment ago, said the offense is giving us the advantage. Let's play hard, play fast, play hard. It's one of his favorite slogans to his defense. Willie and the defensive coaches worked so hard. They have been the victim this year whenever Georgia hasn't played well, Alabama and Florida, of the short field. So offenses have the advantage. The rules allow that, but the coaches, they don't care. They say, look, we have to stop them. Let's give it our best effort.
Walsh kicks it off high to the near sideline, and it will go out of bounds, and there comes the flag. Tony Dixon was the nearest receiver. He just watched it sailed out of bounds, and Kentucky will start with excellent field position at their own 40-yard line as they try to get something going here. Their first possession, they went 3 and out and had 3rd and short. And really, Z, that 3rd and short, and I think they got a little too fancy for themselves. 3rd and less than a yard, and they went back into a passing formation.
Yeah, with a quarterback that probably still isn't all that comfortable throwing, specifically on 3rd down type situations. And it looked like they had a blown play, so they've had a couple of blown plays early in this game, and it's cost them both times.
Cobb's the quarterback for the Wildcats. And he will hand it off to one of the backs. That is at Connor. No, it's Monsell Allen. Monsell Allen, a sophomore from New Orleans, as he pushes his way to about the 40-yard line. Line of scrimmage, no gain on the play. Allen trying to find some running room. Not much there. Rennie Curran coming up to make the stop. Curran just loading up on tackles this season. Coming into the game had 74. That's the most overall tackles in the SEC.
And the Dogs defensively right now really look like they have all the answers for what Kentucky's done.
Cobb in the shotgun, stands in the pocket, looks downfield, nothing there, rolls to the near side, fires with the left hand, and it is caught, falling out of bounds near the 50-yard line by Cryas Langster into Georgia territory. We'll see where they spot the ball. They'll spot it at the 48-yard line. It's a first down for Kentucky, a 12-yard gain on that pass play.
Good job there by Cobb, getting outside the pocket, making something happen, and finding his receivers downfield. This Kentucky team still does not look like they're in sync on offense, though.
Split backfield. They hand it off straight ahead, and that is Alfonso Smith, or is that Dixon taking the handoff? That's Dixon that time. Taking the handoff, trying to find some running room straight ahead, and again, not much there. And he may have gained about a half a yard on the play. They've spotted on the 47-yard line of Georgia. Curran and Asher Allen on the tackle for the Bulldogs. It'll be 2nd down and long, 2nd and 9 for Kentucky.
Kentucky right now staying at the line of scrimmage. Not really no huddle, but more of a muddle huddle and trying to speed up the game some.
I formation. They'll pitch it to the tail on the near side. That's Alfonso Smith. He's shoved out of bounds on the near sideline by Asher Allen. But he got inside the 40-yard line to the 39-yard line. So a gain of about 6 or possibly 7 on the carry by Alfonso Smith. They call it an 8-yard gain. Smith, the speedy junior from Louisville, Kentucky. But it is shy of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and short again for the Wildcats. They work in Georgia territory. Ball on the Dogs' 39-yard line. Cats trail Georgia 14-0 here in the first quarter. Connor and Smith in the backfield. Kentucky brings a man in motion. And now Kentucky, I think, will call a timeout.
Kentucky, first timeout this half. This is a 30-second timeout.
Cats call a time on 3rd and short. We will, too. A quick 30-second SEC break here on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
The ServPro franchise system knows that fire or water damage can deliver a devastating blow, but if the damage is not cleaned up quickly, you may be left with permanently ruined items. So call ServPro. ServPro franchise professionals are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with specialized equipment and personnel. That's 1-800-ServPro or visit servpro.com. The ServPro franchise system works to curb the damage before it gets worse and help make it like it never even happened. ServPro franchises are independently owned and operated.
AJC scoreboard, Michigan State 7-0 on Purdue in the first, and Wisconsin leading Indiana in the second. Badgers 14, the Hoosiers 13 on the AJC scoreboard. 3rd and short for Kentucky from the Dogs 39, moving left to right, handoff straight ahead, knocked down in the backfield, but I think Alfonso Smith may have fallen forward for the first down. C.J. Bird just darting in there and knocking Smith off balance, but did he get the first down? We'll see. It's going to be close. They may have to measure. I think they will. He may be short. Where they spotted the ball just across the 39-yard line. And it looked like he needed to go about the closer to the 38 for the first down, so we'll see.
Now, good quick pressure there by C.J. Bird. Made contact a couple yards back in the backfield. They did fall forward. I thought they had the first down from up here, but
yeah,
they measured it short.
He's short by about a foot, it looks like. It's going to be 4th and a foot for Kentucky on the Dogs' 38.5. Georgia leads it 14-0. Dogs have had 2 possessions, 2 long drives, and 2 touchdowns. Kentucky trying to continue a drive right here, but it's 4th and a foot. Cats will go for it on 4th down. Or at least they appear to. Here's Cobb, going to bring him up to the line of scrimmage. Smith and Connor in the back. Connor the fullback, and Alfonso Smith is the tailback. 5-man front for Georgia. Handed off to the fullback, Connor. Big hole and easily picks up the first down. Boy, just a quick 5-yard burst for Big John Connor, 5'11", 230 out of Westchester, Ohio. And he keeps the drive alive for Kentucky, picking up the first down to the Georgia 34-yard line.
And, you know, I'm a little surprised to see that Kentucky is going with this hurry-up offense with a young quarterback in, only a second start.
Handoff again to Connors. Goes left and then cuts right and is tackled by Curran and Asher Allen at about the 32-yard line. So a gain of about 3 on the play for Connor, the fullback. AJC scoreboard, Syracuse 14-0 on Rutgers. North Carolina still leading Georgia Tech 7-0. They are now in the second quarter. Here it's 14-0 Georgia, 4:45 to play, first quarter. Smith is the tailback and Connor's the offset fullback. They'll throw it to the left side of the field, and it is caught. Eric Adeyemi, the freshman from Miami, makes the reception at the Bulldog 25-yard line, and he's tackled right there, maybe just inside the 25 by Prince Miller, the cornerback.
Just a 3-step drop there by Cobb, a little hitch pattern to the outside. We were giving them a lot of room, so easy pitch and catch there for Kentucky.
About a 7-yard gain, close to a first down. They may have to measure again. They will. They'll bring the sticks in, but the ball's over on the far side of the field. Let's go down to Lauren Smith on the sidelines. Lauren?
Well, you've seen Rennie Curran in on several plays already. I talked to Willie Martinez and John Jancic this morning at the hotel. Willie was saying he's just all over the place. He's such a good leader on the defense. John Jancic says the thing about him is that he has the greatest instincts for the ball carrier. He knows where the ball is, but says most of all, he's just got the heart for Georgia. He loves Georgia and wants to play.
It's short of the first down. 3rd and inches from just inside the Georgia 25-yard line. Kentucky driving, looking for their first points of this ball game. Georgia leads at 14-0. Cobb, the quarterback, under center, hands it off again to the fullback. He's got a hole, an opening, and John Connors just runs right through that opening down inside the 20-yard line near the 15 or 16. So 3rd and short, and he picked up a bunch to keep the drive going for Kentucky. Rashad Jones and Akeem Dent making the tackle on the big fullback Connor.
Well, that's a few times now that Kentucky's run that quick hit or just a fullback dive. Pretty big holes there for Kentucky to run through, and they started to gash us a little bit with a pretty simple play.
Smith is the tailback. They'll fake it to him. Cobb's going to throw it. Pass is batted down, incomplete by Jarius Wynn, the defensive end from Lincolnton. Got in there upfield for the good pass rush, and then Cobb threw it to the right side, and Jarius Wynn deflected it, batted it down, incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Kentucky.
They've got Cobb listed at 5'11", so that's something he's going to constantly have to battle, is moving around and finding good angles in which to throw the football.
Snap it to Cobb, runs to the right side, down the line of scrimmage, pitch it to Smith. Smith on the run, takes the pitch, and runs to the 10, maybe the 9-yard line before he is brought down inside the Bulldog 10-yard line. So a gain of about 7 on the play for Alphonso Smith as we pause for station identification. Bulldogs Radio Network. Third and 3 for Kentucky on the Georgia 9. Split backfield for the Cats. Cobb up to the line of scrimmage, now drops back. They're in that pony formation. They've got Dixon and Smith in the backfield. He'll hand it off straight ahead to Alphonso Smith, and the running room is a little bit tight right there. He gets down near the 7-yard line. A gain of a couple, perhaps. And I think it's going to be short of the first down again. It's going to be 4th down, it looks like, from here. And naturally, the crowd here at Commonwealth Stadium wanting Kentucky to go for it, and it's what it looks like the Cats will do, down 14-0. They get the fullback Connor back into the ball game, and Smith remains the tailback. So 4th down and a yard to go from the Georgia 7-yard line. Cobb takes the snap, hands it off to Connor again, just bowling straight ahead, right behind the blocking of George Gonzalez, the junior center, a 300-pounder. And Connor gets down to the Georgia 2-yard line. So he gained 5 on 4th and 1. And again, the Cats convert and keep it alive. It's 1st and goal for Kentucky.
And under Cobb, this Kentucky offense can show you so many different looks. We've seen some drop back passes. We've seen an old school option with the quarterback coming right down the line. Shotgun, a lot of different looks.
Hand it to Connor again, tries to sidestep Jarius Wynn in the backfield. He falls forward, maybe for a loss of perhaps 1 on the play.
And that was just that fullback dive again. For the first time today, we stop it and keep them from gaining any kind of yardage on it, but they've run that 4 times this drive already, each time successfully up until this one.
Well, it's Corvey Irvin and not Jarius Wynn that got in there with deep penetration, so it's 2nd and goal from the 3 for Kentucky. Dogs lead it 14-0 late in the first quarter, less than 90 seconds to go. Cobb takes the handoff, or takes the snap and hands it off to Dixon, who gets the touchdown off the right side of the line of scrimmage. Tony Dixon on a 3-yard run puts Kentucky on the scoreboard.
Well, Kentucky looked out of sync there in that first series, but really got it going here. They went for it on 4th down, got a big 1st down run. Then Cobb looks like he's starting to settle in a little bit, and he's showing right now that he can give you a lot of different looks and throw a lot at this Georgia defense.
Lona Sieber is the place kicker on to try the point after. Mastay is the holder. Here's the snap and the hold and the kick and a flag on the play. The kick is being waved off. I think it was good, but the flag dropped before the kick of the football, so they'll sort that out. Kentucky's best play on that series, Eric, was that fullback dive. I mean, Connor just kept picking up 5, 6, 7 yards.
Offside, number 90 of the defense, half the distance to goal. Replay the try.
So the Dogs were offsides, and they'll kick it again. I don't know that Kentucky wants to move any closer than that.
And Scott, you're exactly right. That last drive, the little fullback dive that they ran 3 or 4 times on us, big gains every time except the one time down by the end zone. But they threw so many different looks. It's like different offenses coming at you within the same series or the same drive.
Cats went 60 yards. Dixon scored on a 3-yard run.
So the penalty is declined. The click will occur at the 3-yard line.
So Kentucky keeps it right there for the extra point. A 15-play drive for the Wildcats. They converted a couple of 4th downs on that possession to get on the scoreboard, and now awaiting the point after try. Here's the snap to Mastay, and the kick by Sieber is up again, and again flags on the play. And Irvin may have been offsides again for Georgia. And Irvin's going to come out of the ball game, and Cade Weston will check in.
Number 90 of the defense. The penalty is declined. The try will occur at the 3-yard line.
So Kentucky again declines the offside penalty. Just want to kick it from the 10 and move on.
I'm not sure what Corby is looking at down there, but something is causing him to jump.
Here's the snap and the hold, and the kick is good, finally. Just trying to wear out Lona Sieber, get him tired out. He made the extra point. It's good. It's 14-7. Georgia leading Kentucky. We'll take a 60-second SEC break right here on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
Georgia football and Red Baron Pizza, the perfect combination. Just like great grabs, big hits, and touchdowns, Red Baron Pizza gets Bulldog fans out of their seats and cheering. Red Baron Pizza has the varieties to please the entire crowd, with everything from classic to French bread, pizzeria style, and more. You'll score big every time. Next time you're catching the Georgia Bulldogs, make sure hunger doesn't stop you short of the goal. Break through with a delicious taste of Red Baron Pizza. Red Baron, the official pizza sponsor of Georgia football, is available in your grocer's freezer.
The cows are calling. The cows are trying to call you on the phone to tell you to eat more chicken. Unfortunately, cows have hooves, so not only is the receiver hard to pick up, but the little numbers are nearly impossible to dial. The cows want you to eat at Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A. They didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich.
Kentucky goes 60 yards in 15 plays. Dixon with his 5th touchdown of the year scores from 3 yards out. Cats are on the board. It's 14-7 Georgia as Tim Mastay has it teed up on the 30. Kicking here in the last few seconds of the first quarter. We'll kick it high, end over end near the near sideline, and it will go out of bounds as Richard Samuel went as far as he could go and watches it land out of bounds. So this time Georgia is the recipient of excellent field position. They'll start from the 40.
The kicking team, the ball will be placed at the 40-yard line.
AJC scoreboard, Texas 14, Baylor 7 in the second. Western Michigan leading Illinois 13-7 in the second. South Carolina 7, Arkansas nothing in the first. So the Dogs with their 3rd offensive possession of this ball game. They are 2 for 2 so far, and Eric, with field position like this, you got to think, they're looking forward to 3 for 3 here.
Yeah, you would have to think so. And, you know, I'm looking back on the season, I'm not sure if I've ever seen a season where we've had as many kickoffs kicked out of bounds.
Handoff goes to Noshawn Marino. He's trying to go to the right side. Kentucky's chasing him. Boy, he put his helmet right into the chest of one of the Kentucky players and just bowled his way up for a few more yards. How far did he get? Looks like the 45-yard line, a gain of 5, and good hard running thanks to lowering his head for Noshawn Marino. He got 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, and good patience there by Noshawn, too, just standing behind a wall of blockers before he exploded upfield.
Marino off to a fast start today. 43 yards on 5 carries. He also has 1 reception for 34, and he's scored a touchdown. Marino is the setback. Stafford's in the shotgun. Massaquoi to the right side and 2 receivers to the near side. Fake the handoff, and Stafford's going to keep it and roll to the right side and get across the 50-yard line, and he may have the first down. A gain of 5 on the play. And it's a first down. Matthew Stafford faked it to Noshawn Marino and just kept it and got 5 yards on the play. So the Dogs moved the sticks almost into Kentucky territory. The ball right on the 50-yard line. And that's going to be the end of the quarter as Stafford will trot to the far sideline to confer with the coaching staff. And after 1 quarter of play here at Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington, Kentucky, Georgia leads the Wildcats 14-7 into the quarter. Now let's pause for this timeout on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
New at Sanford Stadium this fall, Subway restaurants. But you don't have to go to a Bulldogs game to get the official sandwich of the Georgia Bulldogs. Visit any of the over 425 Subway restaurants in the Atlanta and North Georgia areas for the great fresh taste and some real savings on your food budget at participating Subway restaurants. Like any regular foot-long sub for only $5. Now that's a deal you can really bite into. Subway. Play hard. Eat fresh. Go Dogs!
When it comes to University of Georgia football, Bulldog fans bleed red and black. That loyalty is an invaluable asset. At Bank of North Georgia, we know a thing or two about loyalty. Here you'll have a team of experts dedicated to helping you win. From checking and savings accounts loaded with benefits to strategic investments and financial planning. The professionals at Bank of North Georgia will be your biggest fan. Dogs know a little about that, too. Bank of North Georgia. More power to you. Member FDIC.
So the other day, I was watching the game on TV, and I kept seeing commercial after commercial with car companies comparing their trucks to Toyota, saying they can tow as much as a Toyota truck or haul as much as a Toyota truck. Well, you know, all this talk got me thinking, instead of driving a truck that has a lot of things like a Toyota truck, wouldn't it just make sense to buy, you know, a Toyota truck?
Nothing compares to Toyota. Toyota, moving forward.
Sports analogies from UPS.
UPS asks, do sports analogies for shipping ever get old? No! Let's do one. UPS Express shipping options are so fast they're like a core of wide receivers who can outrun any secondary. That's because UPS gives you a roster full of high-speed express delivery options from 2-day to same-day, even international. Hey, it's whatever speed you need. And these receivers are like cheetahs, like gazelles, or like maybe cheezels.
Sports analogies from UPS.
UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Get your Bulldog Swiss Army watch with a licensed Georgia logo at Solomon Brothers. Men's or ladies, these official watches are Bulldog, priced at only $100 at Solomon Brothers. Tower Place online, SolomonBrothers.com.
Second quarter underway. Dogs threw an incompletion as, the officials restarted the game a little bit early. So the Dogs are 2nd and 10 now from the 50-yard line, now moving left to right, second quarter, and leading it 14-7. Stafford under center, drops back, will fire, left side of the field. Intended receiver A.J. Green. The pass is incomplete at the Kentucky 42-yard line. They had man-to-man coverage on the far side of the field, and it was broken up, so it's going to be 3rd down and 10 now for Georgia from the 50.
Yeah, good. Again, good job there by David Jones of Kentucky in that man-to-man coverage. Stafford and the Georgia team wanted a flag there for some pass interference, but overall pretty good coverage. That they continue to remain up tight, trying to take away some of the short, quick passes that Georgia can utilize.
Stafford in the shotgun, takes the snap low, stands in the pocket, throws it down the middle of the field. That's going to be a deep ball that is well overthrown. A.J. Green between the hashes has it land about 8 to 10 yards over his head. Incomplete, and the Dogs can do nothing with excellent field position from the 40. They move 10 yards and then go, they went silent, and they'll have to punt it away for the first time in the ballgame.
Yeah, good coverage there by Kentucky. Ended up playing too deep, so really nowhere for Matthew Stafford to throw it. He just launched that ball so nobody would get to it. After the play, Jeremy Jarman, defensive end for Kentucky, right up in Matthew Stafford's face, talking a little bit.
Cobb is the deep man for Kentucky on the 10. Brian Mims, the punter, on the 35. There's the snap, and Brian gets the kick off. A high, wobbly kick, going to be taken by Randall Cobb. Fair catch called for at the 15-yard line. So Cobb does a little bit of everything for Kentucky, makes the fair catch. 1st and 10 Kentucky on their own 15. As the Dogs lead it 14-7, this game summary. Brought to you by Regions Bank, proud sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia scored on its first 2 offensive possessions. 29-yard Stafford to Massaquoi touchdown pass and a 6-yard touchdown run by Marino. And then Kentucky just went 60 yards in 15 plays a few moments ago. Tony Dixon with a 3-yard run. And that's been the scoring to this point. Cats will keep it on the ground. They'll hand it off. Alphonso Smith makes a man miss at the 20, cuts to the near sideline and up to about the 26-yard line. Alphonso Smith, the speedy junior, gets a first down for Kentucky. Rashad Jones makes the stop for Georgia as the Cats continue to move the football on the ground.
Well, a huge hole there for Alphonso Smith to run through. Really nobody there. Nobody laid a hand on him until he got up to the second level. But this Kentucky offense continuing to give a lot of different looks to Georgia's defense.
12-yard gain. Cobb fakes the handoff, rolls to the right. He's a left-hander. He'll tuck it and run with a block on the far side. Spun around, he fumbled. Ball is on the ground, and the Dogs fall on it. Georgia has it at the 37-yard line. Cobb got stripped, and the ball went tumbling towards the Georgia sideline, and C.J. Bird has recovered the fumble. Roderick Battle is the one who pulled it out. He stripped Cobb, and Bird falls on it for Georgia. The Dogs have the ball at the Kentucky 37-yard line.
And that ball got stripped when Roderick Battle came from behind a Cobb, tackled him from behind and just ripped the ball out. Big play there by the Georgia defense, giving Matthew Stafford and our offense, again, great field position to go to work.
Dogs on the Cats' 37-yard line. They'll line up in the I. Sutherland the fullback and Marino the tailback. Play action fake to Noshan. Stafford going for it all. Right corner, diving effort by A.J. Green. Again, the pass just out of his reach down the right sideline and is incomplete. Green had his man by about 1.5 feet, and Stafford had just a little too much on the ball.
Yeah, quick change of momentum. Always a good time to take shots down the field anytime you have a big turnover or a big play, especially at this place in the field. A little more air under that pass for Matthew Stafford, and that would have been an easy 6 points.
Trevard Lindley providing the coverage on that incompletion. 2nd and 10 from the Cats, 37 for the Dogs. Toss it to Marino. He runs left side, tries to get to the corner, dives forward to the 35-yard line. And that's all he can get. Kentucky pursued it well. Micah Johnson, the linebacker, tripping up Noshan Marino after only about a 2-yard gain. So it's going to be 3rd and 8 yards to go for Georgia in Kentucky territory and leading it 14-7.
Georgia so far today, 1 out of 2 on 3rd down. Not many 3rd down chances. The first 2 drives they had really had their way with it. This is a big play here, really to capture all the momentum in the game and get it back on our side.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Shotgun formation for the Dogs. Marino's the setback. Stands to the left of Matthew Stafford. 4-man rush for Kentucky. Handed off to Noshan. Straight ahead, cuts back, spun around at the 23-yard line perhaps. Going to be short of the first down. A gain of 2, maybe 3 yards as Jenkins and Kelly made the stop. Ventrell Jenkins, the SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week. He had a couple of sacks in a big game against Mississippi State last week. Stops Marino there. They're on the 33-yard line. Dogs 4th down on the Kentucky 33, 4th and 6. And the play clock. Well, the play clock just reset. It was down to 9 seconds, and then it reset. Now it's at 22. And the Dogs will go for it here on 4th and 6 from the Kentucky 33. Bring Durham in motion from left to right. Stafford going to roll to the right, rolling and throwing on the run, and it is incomplete. Did that get tipped? Well, that pass just looked flat when it came out of his hands, trying to go to A.J. Green. And the pass is incomplete, and Kentucky holds on 4th down, and the ball goes back to Big Blue.
Well, A.J. Green was split wide with Chris Durham, and A.J. just tried to provide a little pick for Chris Durham, but Kentucky defense did well. Matthew then came off Chris Durham, went back to A.J. Green, kind of threw across his body as he was rolling out to his right, and the pass was a little bit off target. I'm not sure if it was tipped or not, but not really a catchable ball there for A.J.
So the Cats take over on their own 33-yard line. They dodge one there after the fumble by Cobb. He'll take the snap in the shotgun, run to the near side, tuck it in his left arm, and try to get what he can on the near sideline. He's pushed out of bounds by Prince Miller near the 40-yard line. About a gain of 6 if we can see where they spot the ball on the near sideline. It's kind of covered up by the Kentucky players. And they will spot it on the 39-yard line. So a gain of 6 for Cobb on the run to the near side. It's 2nd down and 4 for Kentucky. They trail Georgia 14-7. 11:55 and the clock ticking here in the second quarter. Shotgun formation for Kentucky. They'll hand it off and come this way with Tony Dixon being tripped up in the backfield. Asher Allen came up to make a nice play on Tony Dixon. And there's a flag on the play as well. Flag at the 40-yard line, and that's near the line of scrimmage. Let's see what the call is. It's going to go against Kentucky. Illegal shift against the Wildcats. AJC scoreboard, Michigan 9, Minnesota nothing in the second. Ohio State drubbing Northwestern in the second, 24-7. Buckeyes out to a big lead.
Illegal shift on the offense. 2 players moving at once. Both did not reset for a full second. Penalties declined. 3rd down.
Kentucky playing by Canadian rules there. They got flagged for it. Second, make it 3rd down. 3rd down for the Cats as Georgia declines the penalty. It's 3rd and 5. And a timeout is called. Who called that, Georgia or Kentucky?
We called that.
Dogs call a time, and we will too.
This half.
He said Kentucky. So the Cats have used 2 of their timeouts. Timeout, pause for these words on the Georgia Bulldogs radio network.
No, wrong. Bring it in, guys. Take a knee. Let's go over this again. Who starts off with a real Coke taste?
Coca-Cola!
And then Coca-Cola pitches the real Coke taste to who?
Coca-Cola!
How is Coca-Cola going to give real Coke taste to itself? Take a lap, genius. Coca-Cola takes a snap and then pitches the real Coke taste to Coke Zero running up on the right. You got it?
Yeah!
At that point, we fake punt the real Coke taste. Who fakes the punt?
Coke Zero Cola!
Take a lap. Coke Zero. Real Coke taste.
0 calories!
Hi, this is Coach Mark Richt. As an adoptive parent, I'm proud to support the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption, helping to ensure that children find permanent and loving homes. The Foundation for Adoption is a nonprofit organization dedicated to increasing the adoptions of children in foster care systems. To learn more about the foundation and how you can help, please call 1-800-ASK-DTFA or go online to davethomasfoundation.org. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption, finding forever families for children in foster care.
Okay, I think we have everything packed.
Great, let's head to the stadium.
Woohoo! Yeah! Wow, Jim is sure excited about the Bulldogs.
Actually, he's been cheering since we switched to United Community Bank. We now have free online banking, bill pay, convenient e-statements, and awesome customer service.
Man, if he gets this excited about United Community Bank, what's he going to do when he gets to the game?
Trust me, you don't want to know.
Something to cheer about. United Community Bank. The bank that's service-built. Member FDIC.
(14-7), Georgia leads in the second quarter. Let's go down to Lauren Smith for this Cook's Pest Control sideline report. Lauren?
Willie Martinez came into this game, Georgia's defensive coordinator, expecting maybe Cobb to play both receiver and quarterback, but it looks like now they've settled in with him playing quarterback only. And Willie says that's the best thing for them to do because he's their best threat. If they have success with the option, we expect them to stick with it. So this is a big 3rd down play here. I'm sure we'll see the option.
3rd and 5 for Kentucky from their own 39-yard line.
Kentucky today, 1 out of 4 so far on 3rd down.
And they're in the shotgun. They'll snap it to Cobb. Quarterback draw. He's going to run to the right side. Has the first down and a little bit more across midfield and into Georgia territory. Cobb on a draw. Hesitated, then took off running to the right side. And they'll spot it on the 50-yard line. So a gain of 11 for Randall Cobb, and the Cats have a 1st and 10 moving into Georgia territory.
Well, with the injuries that this Kentucky team has had to some of their top-tier players, I don't think there's any doubt now that Randall Cobb is the best player that they've got on that offensive side of the football field and are on their team. and they're going to give him as many options as they can every single play to make something happen.
1st and 10, Kentucky. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Cobb in the pocket, hangs it up, throws to the near sideline, and it is out of bounds and incomplete. Tried to go to Lankster again, and Prince Miller on the coverage was right on top of him, and Cobb sailed it out of bounds. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Kentucky from the 50-yard line. 10:55 to go, 2nd quarter.
Yeah, just a little wheel right there from Kentucky, trying to get us to bite on a little flat and take up the field to throw an intermediate deep pass. But very good coverage there from Georgia.
4 down linemen for the Dogs. Shotgun formation for Kentucky on 2nd 10. Snap it to Randall. He's going to tuck it and run to the near side. Gets to the corner, 45, 40, and out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Randall Cobb showing what he can do best, and that is tuck it and run as he picks up 15 yards and a 1st down to the Georgia 35-yard line.
That's now 37 yards on the ground for Randall Cobb on 5 carries.
Rashad Jones ran him out of bounds on the near sideline, but it's a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats on the Dogs 35. AJC scoreboard, South Carolina 10-0 on Arkansas in the 1st. Georgia Southern 10-7 on Samford in the 2nd. Here it's 14-7, but that lead for Georgia is getting tenuous. Handoff goes to Dixon, right side, breaks a tackle, downfield to the 25, down to the 23-yard line. Prince Miller was grabbing at him, and they trip him up at the 23-yard line, but another 1st down for Kentucky as the Cats are moving it on the ground.
Boy, they really are. Everything they want to do right now on the ground, they're being able to do. And it's all set up through Randall Cobb and many of the things that, and many of the different looks that he can give you. And it's opening room up now for the Kentucky running backs.
Dogs call a timeout. Georgia leading at 14-7. We'll pause for these words on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
XM Radio, your home for SEC football. Hear every SEC football game coast to coast. Plus, play-by-play of SEC basketball and baseball games. XM is your college sports connection, wherever you are, with coverage of the SEC, Big East, Pac-10, Big 12, and the ACC. Go to xmradio.com/SEC for a special offer just for college football fans. Visit your local electronics store or xmradio.com for more information on XM. Hardware and $12.95 monthly subscription sold separately.
Hey, Dog fans, David Green here for AT&T. Football season's in full swing, right? So you've got to have your AT&T cell phone. You know what I do with my AT&T cell phone? I text scores all the time. I've got a camera phone and built-in GPS navigation. The greatest and latest in technology comes from AT&T. AT&T's fall sale is featuring a sleek BlackBerry Curve 8310 with a built-in AT&T navigator. The Curve's just $99.99 after a $100 mail-in rebate. Get where you're going faster and safer with traffic alerts and one-click rerouting. You can't beat it. Stop by AT&T now to get the first month of Navigator free. After that, it's only $9.99 per month. Do what I did and make the switch to AT&T. Call 1-866-MOBILITY or visit a store near you. AT&T, your world delivered. AT&T is the official wireless provider of the Georgia Bulldogs. Phone price before $100 mail-in rebate debit card. A 2-year service agreement and data plan is $219.99. Other restrictions and charges apply. See store for complete details. AT&T Navigator is not available on all handsets.
Kentucky has it 1st and 10 just inside the Georgia 24-yard line, trailing the Bulldogs 14-7. AJC scoreboard, Tennessee trailing Wyoming in the 1st 7-0. Syracuse Rutgers 14-all in the 2nd. Baylor and Texas 14-all in the 2nd, and Pittsburgh 17-0 on Louisville in the 2nd. And the Bulldogs jumped out to a 14-0 lead here. And then Georgia, or Kentucky rather, drove 60 yards in 15 plays, scratched out a 3-yard touchdown run, and have held Georgia away from any significant drives despite excellent field position for the Bulldogs. But now the Cats are moving on the ground, handed off to Dixon, straight ahead running. Not much there, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Dannell Ellerby, the linebacker from Hamlet, North Carolina, makes the stop for the Dogs. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. Don't think he got anything. Let's pause for station identification on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network. 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats. They go in the shotgun, snap it to Cobb. He'll roll to the near side, fire on the run. It is caught by E.J. Adams out of Stone Mountain, Georgia. Inside the Dogs 20, Bird and Remarcus Brown there on the coverage and the tackle. And it is a gain of about 4, maybe 5 on the play. It's going to be at the 19-yard line, and it will be 3rd down and about 5 yards to go.
And after the Georgia timeout, we've come out and run consecutive blitzes, just bringing Prince Miller off of the slot 2 plays in a row, trying to get in the backfield. More run blitzes more so than pass blitzes.
Stay in the shotgun. Cobb takes it. Has running room. Runs straight ahead. 15, 10, cuts back 5, and upended at the 4-yard line. Randall Cobb wanted to pass, but he couldn't pass up that opening. Remarcus Brown and Bird tackling Cobb inside the Bulldog 5. It's 1st and goal for Kentucky as Cobb. Man, he is dangerous. He is dangerous out of the backfield, isn't he?
He is in a lot of different ways. There again, just shotgun. He was dropping back to look to throw the ball. It looked like he went through his 1st and 2nd reads in the progression and then just immediately took off and had a ton of running room in which to run.
1st and goal, Kentucky. Handed off to the big fullback, Connor. This time nothing there as the Dogs clog up the middle. And Connor may have even lost an inch or 2. They'll spot the ball back on the 2, so no gain. 2nd and goal from the 2 for Kentucky, trying to tie up this ball game here if they can get in the end zone. Dogs jumped out to that 14-0 lead. Now the Cats are trying to answer with a 2nd consecutive score. 2nd and goal, shotgun for Kentucky. Split backfield, 2 receivers right and 1 to the left. Now Cobb looks to the sideline and now changes the play perhaps. There's the snap. We'll hand it off to Dixon. He's hit at the 2, and he's driving, but we're pushing him back. Big Geno Atkins in there. And Rennie Curran and Jarius Wynn. Curran made the initial hit. And Dixon stopped for little or no gain right there at the 2 again. It's 3rd and goal from the 2.
And Kentucky, even here, this part of the field, they're on the 2-yard line. Still are not huddling up, still using that muddle huddle where the line just kind of gathers around right at the line of scrimmage, and then they call the play and everybody separates out.
They'll split 2 men to the right, 1 to the left. The lone setback is Dixon. Cobb's in the shotgun. There's the snap. It's a little bit high. Cobb's going to take it and run to the right, dodges a tackler and just waltzes into the end zone. A little high step too, and now there's a flag. He was high stepping and doing a little showing off into the end zone, and the officials dropped the flag in the end zone. So Kentucky may have to back up on the kickoff. I think that's where they'll assess the penalty. But Cobb with a 2-yard touchdown run.
Touchdown is good. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, celebration penalty number 18. The penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Ken Williamson, our referee today. And Kentucky now with a chance to tie it up with the point after.
And a nice little run there by Cobb, but really good block thrown by Tony Dixon. Securing the edge for Cobb to get outside and really just walk right into the end zone, or high step right into the end zone as he did.
Lona Sieber to try the point after to tie this game up. There's the snap and the hold, and the kick is good. And Georgia's 14-0 lead is gone. We're tied 14-14 with 7:15 to go in the 2nd quarter. Timeout here in Lexington. Let's pause for these words on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
I believe in the Bulldog Nation, the dog walk, hunkering down, ringing the chapel bell. I believe walking into Sanford Stadium never gets old. I believe there are no shortcuts to victory. I'm Mark Richt, and I believe in Georgia Saturdays.
Fans of the red and black, log on to GeorgiaSaturdays.com for exclusive downloads. Check out the all-new 09 F-150 and Flex, and much, much more.
Ford, drive one.
The Dogs know what it takes to win at home, and your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams paint store knows what it takes to make your home a winner, too. You can always count on Sherwin-Williams for exceptional products and unparalleled expertise, because painting and decorating is what we do. And now save $8 per gallon on super paint. For the best in football, it's the Dogs. And for the best in paint, it's Sherwin-Williams, the official paint of the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network. You'll be amazed what happens when you ask Sherwin-Williams. For a store near you, visit Sherwin-Williams.com.
Lager lessons from Budweiser.
Did you know that Budweiser brews beer at 12 different breweries across the country? That's cool, but the real news is that every afternoon at 3, while you're doing your job, the brewmaster's job is to taste the Budweiser from each of those breweries, just to make sure that every Budweiser tastes exactly the way it should, with that perfect balance of flavor and refreshment.
Budweiser, the great American lager. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. Please drink responsibly.
Kentucky's tied it up with a 67-yard drive, 12 plays, 2-yard run by the quarterback Randall Cobb, who is the leading rusher in the ballgame now. 7 carries for 55 yards. That is his 4th rushing touchdown this season for Kentucky. He's also caught 2 this year and thrown for 2. Cobb, the cousin to former UGA tight end Shannon Mitchell. Z, you know Shannon real well.
I do, very well. Very well. He and I were teammates, and I tell you what, he was a great tight end to play with and just be teammates with. And you know, anytime I think of Shannon, I always think back to the Florida game in 1993, just when it was an absolute downpour, and he had, you know, 15 or 16 catches, I think, 16 catches on the day, and really showed what a tremendous athlete he was and what a great player he was for us.
The unsportsmanlike penalty on Cobb after the touchdown will back up Kentucky and force them to kick off from the 15-yard line. But Mastey's got a leg, but the wind is kind of cutting across from left to right here at Commonwealth Stadium. We'll see what he can do with a kick as we check the AJC scoreboard. Ohio State 24-7 on Northwestern at the half. North Carolina leading Georgia Tech 7-0, and they are at halftime as well.
And Kentucky's gotten back into this game, not only on the legs of Cobb, who you just mentioned had 55 yards, but really just the running game in general. They now have 129 yards on the ground, and simultaneously we've gotten away from running the football, which we probably need to get back to.
Chance for a return here, a high end-over-end kick. They will just pooch it, and we let it land, and Samuel lets it bounce right to him, picks it up, and now is moving with the football. And across the 50 down to the Kentucky 48-yard line perhaps, and there's a flag on the play. So let's check that call. 14-yard return by Richard Samuel as Mastey kicked it high. Kind of a modified pooch.
The block in the back. Return team, number 28. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Oh, that hurts. Field position not quite so good as they'll back up the Dogs, and we go down to the sidelines and Lauren Smith. Lauren?
Well, you can imagine the frustration the defense is experiencing here after Kentucky just really commanded the line of scrimmage and the momentum there on those 2 drives. But the offensive coaches huddled with the offense saying, listen, we got to get the momentum back. Remember how you played early in the game. Let's drive it on them again.
Green splits out to the left, Massaquoi to the right, I formation, Marino's the tail, will toss it to Noshan. Cuts inside the tackle and is dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Jeremy Jarman kind of blew that play up for Kentucky. And they call it no gain as they spot the ball between the 42 and the 43-yard line. So Noshan, nothing on that carry. It's 2nd down and 10 for the Dogs. We're tied at 14, second quarter, clock at 6:25 and moving. Bright sunshine and a stiff wind blowing here on a chilly day in Lexington. Stafford under center, I formation. Fake to Marino in the pocket, steps up, throws, complete to Michael Moore at the 45. Moore near sideline, shakes the tackler at the 30. Moore still on his feet down the sideline, all the way down to the 11-yard line. Michael Moore with excellent running after the catch puts Georgia in fine scoring position. Trevard Lindley pushes him out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
Well, that was just the kind of play that we needed to recapture some of this momentum. Play action pass there by Stafford. Kentucky was in man-to-man. We just run a simple little crossing route, then another great job of running with the football after the catch and staying in bounds. We could easily have stepped out of bounds, but picked up another 15 yards or so by staying in bounds and being conscious of it.
46 yards on the reception for Michael Moore's 20th catch of the year. The Dogs have it. They're in business. 1st and 10, and they'll hand it off to Marino. He looking for running room in the middle of the line of scrimmage, and not a whole lot there, just a lot of bodies, and Marino adds to the stack as he runs straight ahead and gets nothing. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 11-yard line. Georgia and Kentucky tied at 14. The ball is actually closer to the 12 than it is the 11. 2nd down for the Dogs coming up. I formation. Chappis the fullback. Marino the tail. And Green and Massaquoi break out to the left side. The tight end Chandler gives Georgia an unbalanced line to the right. Stafford fake to Marino. Will pass it. No shot. No, that's Chappis. Touchdown over the middle. The fullback threw it right over the middle to Sean Chappis. His first career touchdown. And Georgia regains the lead. It's 20-14.
Well, that was just a great job of play-action pass by Stafford and by Marino both. Really confused the Kentucky defense, and Chappis was wide open over the middle after that play-action pass, and Kentucky defenders coming up to guard the run.
Point after by Blair Walsh is good, and Georgia leads at 21-14. Dogs have tried that play before this season, and Chappis didn't hang on to the football, but he did that time. He gets his first career touchdown, and the Dogs lead at 21-14. Less than 5 minutes to go in the half. Let's take a timeout, a 60-second SEC break on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Jimmy Ellis at Jim Ellis Automotive Dealerships, and we have a winning game plan to help you with your next new or pre-owned vehicle selection with 7 import and American automotive brands. Whether economy or luxury, truck or SUV, we have the vehicle for you. We support the same standards of excellence as UGA. We promise you at Jim Ellis you can always expect the best. We are proud to be family-owned and operated and serving Georgians for over 37 years. Visit our showrooms in Atlanta or Marietta or online at jimellis.com.
Talk about tough schedules. These days, when you buy a home and your loan doesn't close on schedule, you lose money. I'm Rick Floyd, president of Optium Mortgage, lender to the Dog Nation. I guarantee your loan will close on schedule or we'll give you $500. Let me be perfectly clear. $500 at closing if you're not completely satisfied with Optium. No questions asked. Our best rates, guaranteed close date. Visit the lender to the Dog Nation. OPTEUM, Optium.com.
Matthew Stafford throws his second touchdown pass of the afternoon, an 11-yard throw to the fullback Sean Chappis to cap a 4-play 57-yard drive, and Georgia back in the lead 21-14. Check the AJC scoreboard. Texas 28-14 on Baylor. They are in the second as Walsh tees it up and kicks it deep to Dixon. He'll take it on the goal line on the near side. Dixon straight ahead to the 15 to the 20. Cuts to the near sideline and tripped up out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Maybe just a shade across it, and Kentucky will start there on offense.
And let's see if we can dial up anything to slow down this running attack here of Kentucky, that after the first series of the game, they've really found a few things that they've been able to do consistently here that continue to gash us.
Split backfield and a shotgun formation for Kentucky. 4:41 to go in the first half, and the Cats are down 7 points again. 2 receivers right and 1 to the near side. And Cobb's going to roll to the right and throw. A man jumps all over and throws it deep, and C.J. Bird, the only player closest to it, nearly intercepted it with an over-the-shoulder catch. But Georgia had great defensive pressure that time. Was that Darrell Gamble that got in there and got a good upfield rush as Cobb had to unload that baby? Incomplete. 2nd down and 10 now for Kentucky.
And the Dogs there just loaded up the box, played man-to-man outside. Very good coverage on the corner route that Cobb tried to complete. Not a very good pass, and was almost picked off.
Shotgun, split backfield, handed off to Dixon. Dixon knocked by Dobbs in the backfield, able to stay on his feet and fight for more yardage, though. And Rashad Jones finally makes the tackle at the 32-33 yard line. So a gain of maybe 1.5 yards or 2 yards on the play for Dixon. It's going to be 3rd and 8 for the Wildcats. Almost had him for a loss, but he was able to keep his feet. Smith and Dixon are the split backs, and Cobb stands between them in the shotgun. Takes the snap, looks, Lobs it with the left hand. It's complete at the 30. Dixon to the 40. Dixon near sideline, tackle from behind 50, and they're going to get Darrell Gamble for a horse collar tackle as the flag comes out of the pocket.
Well, just a little screen pass there by the Kentucky offense, and as soon as that ball was completed, there was not one white jersey anywhere close to Dixon on that play.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense.
Well, they got him for the face mask. I thought they got him for tackling on the horse collar from behind. So a gain of 18 on the play is enhanced by a 15-yard penalty. And Kentucky gets an instant 33 yards down to the Georgia 33-yard line. Now, we might have a shootout on our hands today.
Boy, that's the way it looks right now. That we just don't have an answer for the many different looks that Kentucky's throwing at us.
1st and 10, Kentucky on the Dogs' 33-yard line. 21-14, Georgia leads late here in the half. 3:45 to go in the quarter. Allen and Smith in the backfield for the Cats, and Cobb is the quarterback in the shotgun. Wynn jumps off sides, gets back, no flag. Handoff straight ahead to Allen, or is that Smith? That is Smith. And he pushes his way inside the 30 down near the 28-yard line. Cade Weston making the stop for Georgia. A gain of about 5 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 5 for Kentucky as they continue to move, and so does the clock.
That's now 178 yards. Total offense for Kentucky, 136 on the ground. With 3 minutes still to play here in the first half.
Split backfield, and they'll run out of the shotgun again with 2 receivers right and 1 to the left. Cobb takes it, rolls to the right, throws on the run, and it is caught by Langster at the 25-yard line. Prince Miller will tackle him right there. He's short of the first down by a couple of yards. A gain of only 3 on the play. The ball not quite to the 25-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and a long 2 to go for Kentucky as the clock continues to move. 2.5 minutes now inside of that.
And when Kentucky's throwing the ball, they're continuing to move the pocket, sprint Cobb out either to the right or to the left. One thing that does do, even with minimal gains, is wear down defensive line.
Snap to Cobb in the shotgun. He's going to run it to the near side, and we will eat him up. Darrell Gamble just took his head and threw it into the ground back at the 32-yard line. Gamble. He wasn't wasting any time that time. Darrell Gamble broke into the backfield and just grabbed Cobb up above the shoulders and just slung him to the ground for a loss on the play, and it's 4th down for Kentucky. Back near the 32-yard line. So a loss of about 6 on that play. And the clock is at 1:44 and ticking, and Kentucky will let it tick down a little bit more and then call the timeout. AJC scoreboard: Ohio State 24, Northwestern 10 in the 3rd, Western Michigan 20, Illinois 7, and they are at halftime. Here it's 21-14, minute 35 on the clock, and it is now stopped. And it is 4th down. Did the Cats call timeout?
Timeout.
Yes, they did.
Kentucky, 2nd timeout this half. Please put 1:40 on the game clock. 1:40.
So we'll take a 30.
1:30. Mike.
All right, thank you. We'll take a 30-second timeout. SEC break, 30 seconds here on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
Everyone wants to spend less and get more. Now you can with Charter Communications. Hi, this is Scott Howard. Get the most for the least when you bundle your Charter services. That's what works for me. Cable TV, Charter high-speed internet, and Charter telephone with unlimited local and long-distance calling for as low as $99.97 a month. Add high definition for an even better package. The only thing that could beat that is a Bulldog touchdown. Remember, the bundle is better. Call Charter Communications for more details. 1-888-GET-CHARTER.
AJC scoreboard: Wisconsin 21, Indiana 20 in the 2nd. Samford with a lead over Georgia Southern at the half, 14-10. Texas hanging on to that 28-14 lead over Baylor in the 2nd. Iowa State, Colorado underway. They are scoreless in the 1st. Here the Dogs have a touchdown lead. They jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Cats came back to tie it up, and Georgia regained the lead on their last possession, going 57 yards in 4 plays on an 11-yard touchdown pass to Sean Chappis. Cats will go for it. on 4th and 8 from the Georgia 31-yard line. Shotgun formation. The lone setback is Dixon. Cobb takes the snap, stands in the pocket, has time. Now he dropped the ball. He fumbled the ball and has to fall on it on the 35-yard line, and Georgia will take over right there. Roderick Battle came in, and did he strip it, or he forced Cobb to move out of the pocket? He dropped the ball, so Battle in there again. That's his second forced fumble on the day.
It is, and it's a good thing that he got in there and caused Cobb to drop it, because it looked like Cobb had all kinds of running room and was about to take off when he lost control of the football.
So Cobb falls on his own fumble at the 35-yard line. Now the Dogs have 81 seconds to try and get some more points here before halftime. 1st and 10 from the 35 for the Dogs. They'll go into the shotgun. Stafford drops back 3 steps, looks to the left, fires, complete to Marino. He's upended at the 42-yard line. A gain of about 7 on the play. Shamari Moore making the stop. Clock continues to move. 106, 105. 2nd down and 3 coming up for Georgia from the 42. Dogs quickly up to the line. 2 receivers to the near side and 1 to the far side. Stafford will throw out of the shotgun, being pressured, will run to the near side. Still on his feet, running 40, 44, and steps out of bounds right there near the first down. The clock will stop at 49 seconds, and Stafford's got some wheels on him.
Yeah, he really does. You know, it's and we talk about it all the time like we're surprised. We see it enough that he, you know, he can hurt you with his legs, and he can avoid pressure when the pocket collapses. And there he showed it to us again, got outside on the corner and did a good job getting out of bounds to stop the clock.
3rd and 1 for Georgia. Ball just shy of the 45-yard line. Dogs lead it by a touchdown with 49 seconds to go in the half. Handed off to Marino straight ahead. Marino trying to pull away from a leg tackle and works his way up to the 50-yard line. Gain of almost 6 on the play. That'll stop the clock for the first down as Micah Johnson, the linebacker, 6'2", 250-pound junior, brings down Marino. But the Dogs are at midfield, and the clock now moving again, 37 seconds and counting. Quick snap in the shotgun to Stafford. Has time in the pocket, throws it down the near side, and out of the reach of Mohamed Massaquoi down near the 10-yard line. Again, that pass over his head by about 2 or 3 yards. Stafford with a little bit too much on it, and Trevard Lindley was on the coverage that time with Massaquoi, but he was ahead of the coverage that time, Eric, but Stafford a little too much air under that one as well.
Yeah, it was, and it looked like Lindley got to him a little bit early, but the referee said that the ball was not catchable. As a quarterback, anytime I have somebody hanging on my receiver, how is the ball supposed to be catchable? Is my answer.
Josh Davis is in the ball game. Justin Anderson is out. He may have been injured. Stafford, screen to Marino, and Kentucky reads it all the way back at the 48-yard line. And that's going to be a loss of 2 on the play. Ashton Cobb came in for the tackle for Kentucky. The Dogs try a little screen to the left side, and Marino loses a couple of yards on the play.
3rd and final timeout of the
20
half.
seconds to go in the half. Quick 30-second SEC break here on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
I'm an original.
I'm an original.
I am original. I like the spice of life.
I'm not down with bland. I always bring the flavor. So does McDonald's new Spicy Chicken Sandwich with a spicy, crispy, all-white meat chicken breast.
Topped with fresh lettuce.
Ranch or Chipotle barbecue sauce.
For an extra kick.
The ideal combo. Heat and flavor.
The new Spicy Chicken Sandwich. Because I'm spicy like that. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Participation and duration may vary.
Dogs are taking Justin Anderson to the locker room just before half. Only 20 seconds to go as he's limping his way with one of the trainers. Justin Anderson headed to the locker room a little bit early, so Davis is the tackle on the right side for Georgia. 3rd down for the Dogs. Shotgun snap to Stafford, scrambling, moving in the pocket, will throw it long. A diving effort for Chris Durham on the far side of the field is incomplete at the 15-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down and 10 seconds remaining in the first half.
Boy, and that really displays the arm strength of Matthew Stafford. Once again, being forced to kind of scramble around and find somebody downfield, but threw that ball about 45 yards just on a rope. Missed his receiver, but again, just tremendous physical ability for Matthew Stafford.
Cobb back deep for Kentucky, back on the 10. Brian Mims will punt it away. 4th and 11 for Georgia at midfield. Kentucky loads up the line. Mims gets the punt away with traffic. High hanging kick, and Cats will just let it bounce and roll into the end zone, and that's going to be the end of the half as well. So the Dogs punted on the last play of the first half and go into the locker room with a 7-point lead on Kentucky. It's Georgia 21 and the Wildcats 14. Coming up next, it's the halftime show with Neil and Eric right here on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network. Doing most of their damage on the ground, but Georgia has the lead as the Dogs will kick off. Guy and Dixon back deep for Kentucky. Walsh on the near hash, kicks it high, end over end, taken by Dixon on the 8. Straight ahead to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. Cuts back at the 30, still on his feet, and forced down at the 35 by Darrell Gamble. So Kentucky starts 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line, and down to the sidelines we go to Lauren Smith for a Cook's Pest Control sideline report. Lauren?
Everything in the locker room was about consistency. The Georgia offensive coaches feel like that the offense can move the ball, need more consistency. The defense wants more consistency. Make plays, especially on 3rd down, was the theme.
Smith and Dixon in the backfield, split backfield for Kentucky, as Cobb has gone the distance here at quarterback. Hands it off to Dixon. He comes to the near side looking for running room on the corner, gets on the sideline, moves upfield to about the 41-yard line. Darrell Gamble shoved him out of bounds into the Kentucky bench, but a gain of 6 on the play for Tony Dixon. So it'll be 2nd and 4 for the Wildcats.
And a good block there by Alphonso Smith, the other Kentucky running back, to seal that edge for Dixon. Georgia doing what they did, kind of the adjustment they made there in the second quarter, bringing 8 guys into the box and trying to shut down this Kentucky running attack, has been very successful so far today.
Dogs front line is Gully, Irvin, Atkins, and Battle. And Kentucky will keep it on the ground, hand it off straight ahead to Dixon. And not a lot of running room there. Close to the first down, but short. Irvin and Atkins crowding up the middle of the line to force Dixon to the ground. A gain of about 3 on the play. The 44-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 1 for Kentucky.
Kentucky in the first half, 5 for 9 on their 3rd down conversions, but also 2 out of 3 when they went for it on 4th down.
I formation for the Wildcats. Smith and Connor in the ball game. Connor's the fullback, and Alphonso Smith is the tail. Cobb looks to the sideline for the play. Now they move Connor to the left, offset the eye, bring a man in motion, and hand it off to Alphonso Smith, and he hits the hole hard on the left side of the line of scrimmage and pushes his way forward for a 1st down up to the 48-yard line. A gain of 4.5, 5 yards on the play, perhaps, maybe closer to 4. But it is a 1st down for Kentucky as Gully made the stop for Georgia.
And a good push there by Gonzalez and Duncan, the center and guard from Kentucky, up front, making that an easy 1st down.
Cobb going to roll down the line of scrimmage to the left, pitch it back to Dixon, takes the pitch, runs at the 50 into Georgia territory, 45 and out of bounds at the 43-yard line.
And again, here comes Kentucky. That time the more traditional option look where the quarterback takes a snap from center, just goes right down the line, then reads the defensive end. Easy read for Cobb there. We come up and hit him in the mouth. He just pitches it out for another big gain for this Kentucky running attack.
9-yard gain on the play. Cats 2nd down and 1 in Georgia territory now at the 43-yard line. I formation for Kentucky as they move from left to right. Cobb is under center. Connor's the fullback, and Alphonso Smith is the tailback. And Cobb will rear up and throw quickly out of the left flat, and it is caught at the 40-yard line. A gain of only a couple, but it is a 1st down. And Allen makes the stop for Georgia.
Just a quick hitch for the short side of the field there for Kentucky. Randall Cobb 6 for 9 through the air today, only for 49 yards though.
I formation for Kentucky. They're on the move, 1st and 10 at the Georgia 39-yard line. They trail 21-14, just underway here in the second half. Clock at about 12 and a half minutes here in the third quarter. Cobb going to throw to the right side this time. It is caught at the 35-yard line by Adeyemi, and Prince Miller makes the tackle before he can do any damage after the catch. Makes the catch for about a 5-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 5. As Cobb, that time just took the snap, took a quick 2 or 3 step drop and fired to the right side for a complete 5-yard gain. 2nd and 5, Kentucky. Clock at 12 minutes now and ticking, and Georgia leading it by 7. Offset the I, Cats do, and they'll move down the line of scrimmage to Cobb. He throws it out to Dixon on the pitch. Dixon has it, far sideline, 1st down and more to the 24-yard line. Rennie Curran finally forcing Dixon out of bounds on the far side of the field, but another 1st down as the Kentucky ground game continues to chew up yards.
Well, a good catch there by Dixon on that pitch. It was a little bit away from him. He made a good adjustment to go get it, then got a great block from Connor on the edge that opened up that hole.
Drive started back at the 35. 7 plays in the books so far. 1st and 10 for Kentucky from the Georgia 24. Cobb will hand it off, straight ahead running, power running at that. John Connor, that big hefty fullback, bullying his way up inside the 20. And about the 18-yard line, perhaps. They're on the far end of the field now. We're down around the 22-yard line on the left end of the field, and Kentucky working down to the other end. Rashad Jones brought down Connor on that play for Georgia. It is 2nd down, 4 yards to go for Kentucky. At the Bulldogs' 18-yard line. Dogs trying to hang on to a 7-point lead. Cobb to the right side on the option. Pitch out to Dixon. Dixon to the sideline and down the field to the 10-yard line. And a flag on the play at the 15. So let's check the call. Dixon got the pitch and got to the corner. A 5'9", 203-pound senior from Alabama.
On the offense, number 81. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat 2nd down.
So they'll back up the Wildcat offense on the holding call. Maybe that'll slow them down.
Boy, I sure hope so. You watch what Kentucky's doing right now. If you think back to the great Nebraska teams, not that this Kentucky team is as powerful as those teams, but the style offense that they're running right now, the option out of the eye, very similar to what Kentucky is doing right now, and presenting a lot of problems for our dog defense.
2nd down, 11 from the 24 now. Kentucky in the shotgun. They'll hand it to Dixon, and he'll pitch it to Adeyemi, who comes to the near side at the 35, avoids a tackler. Georgia had that one read all the way, and Adeyemi forced out of bounds and shoved into the bench by Geno Atkins. Crowd didn't like it. They wanted a flag, but I don't see any on the field. A little gadget play for Kentucky didn't really work.
Well, it didn't. It could have been a huge loss, though, for Kentucky if Randall Cobb had not gotten back and made a critical block there in the backfield, at least just to minimize the loss on the play.
Loss back to the 28-yard line. 3rd and long for the Wildcats. 3rd quarter. Georgia leading at 21-14. They'll work out of the shotgun. Cobb takes the snap, drops back, dumps it left side, little screen to Dixon. Dixon has it at the 25, leans forward and falls to about the 22-yard line. Well short of the 1st down. It'll be 4th down for Kentucky, and they will send out the field goal unit team. Lona Sieber to try a field goal, and they have really struggled with their kicking this year. Just 9 of 19 on field goal tries. Sieber spotting the ball at the 30-yard line. So a 40-yarder coming up for Kentucky to try to draw the Cats to within 4. Here's the snap and the hold, and the kick is good. 40-yarder by Lona Sieber makes it a 21-17 score now. 9:19 to go in the 3rd quarter. Dogs lead by 4, but the Cats get some points on their opening possession of the 2nd half. Timeout. Let's pause for these words now on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
This Bulldog moment is brought to you by Bank of North Georgia. Well, there you have it. From all of us at Bank of North Georgia, go Bulldogs. Bank of North Georgia, more power to you. And those dogs. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Eric Zier. Let's enjoy one of the game's greatest rivalries with the great taste of Miller Lite. Yep, border battle is here, and we're storming down to hang a big ol' Athens-sized cloud right over the Sunshine State, because great taste and refreshment go best with red and black. So grab some Miller Lite, and let's show them that our bark is worse than their bite.
Live responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Albany, Georgia.
Hey Dogs fans, this is Hondo Williamson with a travel tip for those away games. One word, VZ Navigator. Okay, that's 2 words, but here's the point. When you're following the dogs, you can't go wrong with VZ Navigator from Verizon Wireless. You get GPS maps, audible turn-by-turn directions, traffic alerts for avoiding congestion, and directions to the cheapest gas near you. Sign up for VZ Navigator and hit the road with confidence. VZ Navigator from Verizon Wireless, America's most reliable wireless network.
Additional charges and coverage required. Accuracy is not guaranteed.
Kentucky uses 12 plays to go 43 yards, and they get a 40-yard field goal from Lonis Sieber. He's now 7 out of 14 on the year in field goal tries. That matches his season long of 40 yards, and it is 21-17. Dogs lead by 4. Let's go down to the sidelines and Lauren Smith. Lauren?
Scott, bend but don't break is, I guess, something of a victory, but I can remember the offensive coach at the halftime telling the offense, if you play consistent, you can move the ball, and you've got to do it if we're going to win this ball game. So now we'll see if they can do that.
Now the Dogs need to answer right here as Mastay has it teed up on the 30, and he'll kick it off from left to right. A high end-over-end kick. Richard Samuel will take it on the 5. Straight ahead to the 10, to the 15. Middle of the field to the 20. Trips, keeps his feet across the 25 near the 30-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. Maybe a couple of yards back. The Dogs will have it on offense, 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line.
In the first half for the Dogs, 223 yards of total offense. They had 156 through the air at 67 on the ground. No-Shine, 11 carries for 58 yards on the ground there in the first half, but only 10 yards came in the second quarter. See if we can get him kick-started again and get a little something going here on the offensive side of the ball.
1st and 10 from the 28, Georgia. With the ball for the first time in the second half. Stafford will throw. Quick slant pattern. Flag on the play. Whistles blowing the play dead. They completed the pass on a quick slant to Mohamed Massaquoi from the far side, but the play is dead, and we'll get the call from our referee, Ken Williamson.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense number 89, 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
They get Bruce Figgins for a false start. AJC scoreboard, North Carolina 14, Georgia Tech nothing in the 4th. South Carolina has a 17-7 lead on Arkansas at halftime. Here it's 21-17, Georgia leading Kentucky. Shotgun snap to Stafford, and he will hand it off to Noshawn Marino, who comes to the near side, shaking and baking and trying to find some running room, but not a lot of it there as he gets up to the 25-yard line and is brought down by Jarman and Jenkins, the Kentucky defensive ends. They've got a pretty good front 4. Jarman and Pryor and Peters and Jenkins. A lot of sacks in their career, a lot of experience too. 2 juniors and 2 seniors.
Yeah, and that front 4, because they're so good, allows them to be very good with tackles for loss. They're number 23 in the country coming into this game with tackles for loss throughout the season. That's part of the reason we want to establish ourselves on the ground again to slow them down just a little bit.
2nd and 13 for the Dogs. Work out of the shotgun. Pocket is closing. Flag down. Stafford is as well. He almost got out of it, but he was tripped up and brought down by Ventrell Jenkins on the sack. And let's check the flag. That's probably a hold on the Dogs. We'll check it.
Holding on the offense, number 63. The penalties decline. Third down.
This is not shaping up to be a good offensive series for Georgia.
Well, you know, again, we had a successful first play there on the quick slant, negated by a penalty. It pushes us back. And then all of a sudden you get in for sure passing downs, and you allow that good front four of Kentucky to get off the ball and come get you.
Scoreboard said 3rd and 99 to go, but it's not quite that far. 3rd and 19. Shotgun, snap to Stafford. Will run a screen, and it is batted down, incomplete. As Jarman got the tipped pass on the screen attempt by Georgia, tipped it enough to force an incompletion, and Kentucky holds on 3rd and long, and the Dogs will have to punt it. Jeremy Jarman tipped that screen attempt. We're trying to run a screen to the right, and Jarman at 6'3" and 277 got a hand on it.
And that's a play, really, that goes back onto the quarterback. You've got to be able to get it around those defensive linemen. You know, Matthew almost threw it right into Jarman. That is the quarterback's responsibility to get it up and over the defensive line.
Mims will punt it. Randall Cobb back on his own 39, the deep man for Kentucky. 7:47. The clock is stopped here in the third quarter. The Dogs with a 4-point lead. Mims stands on his 5 and awaits the snap. Long count. There's the snap. Kentucky comes after it, and they get it. They block it. Kentucky blocked the punt, and they fall on the ball at about the 9-yard line.
And this place just erupted with that. Kentucky loaded up on the defensive line. It looked like Georgia had a little bit of confusion. Should they bring in one of their gunners or not? They brought him back in, but it's just an avalanche of blue jerseys coming on to our punter there, Mims.
Danny Trevathan is the man who blocked it. And now Kentucky with a swing play, try to take the lead here. They have the ball on the Georgia 10-yard line, or just inside of it. The ball is actually just a shade across the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal. He'll snap it to Cobb, and he'll keep it on the quarterback runner out to the left side at the 5 and into the end zone for the touchdown. He avoided 2 tacklers. Remarcus Brown couldn't get him. Cobb went around to the far side and sneaked into the end zone for the 10-yard touchdown run, and the Cats lead for the first time in the ballgame.
Yeah, and that was all Randall Cobb there, just utilizing his speed to get outside and outflank everybody on the Georgia defense. The crowd's into it now. This Kentucky team is into it. They now believe we've got to stem this tide pretty quickly.
They'll try to point after. Kentucky now up 23-21. Dogs in trouble here in Commonwealth Stadium. Lonis Sieber to try the point after attempt. There's the snap and the hold, and the kick is good. Cats by 3, 24-21. They block a punt and score on the next play with Cobb on a 10-yard run. Timeout here in Lexington. Pause for these words on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. I'll be turning off the fastest seatbelt light momentarily, but before I do, turn your attention to seat 2A and Brian Finneran, a wide receiver who likes his planes like he likes his football uniforms. New, clean, and roomy in the seat, which is why Brian Finneran chooses to fly AirTran Airways affordable business class and the newest fleet of planes in the sky. That's not cabin freshener. These planes still smell new, like freshly laid turf on game day. If you'll notice, the fasten seatbelt light is off, so please get on your feet for Brian Finneran. Please enjoy the remainder of your flight, and thank you for choosing AirTran Airways.
Hi, I'm Brian Finneran. AirTran's always affordable business class seating has plenty of legroom, even with my lanky 6'5" frame. Book at airtran.com today. AirTran Airways. Go. There's nothing stopping you.
Hey Dogs fans, Hondo Williamson here. You know how much I love football. I eat, sleep, and breathe it. Well, now I can get all kinds of football coverage with ESPN MVP right on my Verizon Wireless phone. With ESPN MVP, I get scores, the latest stats, and game highlights in the airport, in a taxi, or even in the stands. Subscribe to ESPN MVP and get closer to the game, exclusively from Verizon Wireless on select VCast phones with a VPAC subscription. America's most reliable wireless network.
Brian Mims has a punt blocked for the first time this year. Kentucky cashes in. Danny Trevathan blocked it, and then on the next play, Randall Cobb scampers in on a 10-yard run to give Kentucky its first lead. And let's go down to the sidelines for an injury update with Lauren Smith. Lauren?
Yes, the Georgia offense now has pressure to try to score. Maybe they need to score whenever they get the ball every time because it's that kind of game. But whatever they do, they'll do it without Justin Anderson, number 79 from Osceola. Got a sprained right foot and will not go back. But it doesn't look like it's the kind of injury that will last for some time. Maybe he'll get ready next week for Auburn. In the meantime, we need everybody out there to block.
Boy, you're not kidding, as Kentucky has taken the lead 24-21. We're midway through the third quarter. Tim Mastay has it teed up, and the ball falls off the tee. Richard Samuel is the deep man for the Bulldogs, standing on the goal line. So Kentucky's got a 40-yard field goal here in the quarter and a 10-yard touchdown run. 10 quick points, and they lead it by 3. AJC scoreboard, Wyoming 13-0 on Tennessee at halftime in Knoxville. Michigan 22-3 on Minnesota in the fourth. And again, the ball falls off the tee, and they may make someone hold it. The wind has been blowing all day long, and it continues to blow. More scores from the AJC. Auburn 7, Tennessee Martin nothing in the first. Ohio State 38-10 leading Northwestern in the fourth. Dogs, as you heard Lauren a few minutes ago, will be at Auburn next week. Now Mastay, the ball stays on the tee, and he gets his foot into this one, a boomer, end over end, taken by Samuel halfway into the end zone, and he'll take a knee and touchback for Kentucky, and the Dogs will have it 1st and 10 from the 20. And as you heard Lauren also, Justin Anderson out of the ball game. Josh Davis and Clint Bowling will be the tackles.
It's got the Dogs after the first two drives of this game have really been erratic outside of the one long pass that we had where we scored our third touchdown. Part of the reason is we've got to get established on the ground and get Noshan back involved in this football game.
I formation. Marino, the tailback, runs to the right, stops, nothing there, tries to cut inside, and not much there either. He may have gotten a yard on the play to about the 21-yard line.
And Kentucky's making no secret about it right now. They're going to get as many guys in the box. They want us to throw the football, and even with that being said, we can't abandon the running game because when we're if we don't have that, if we're not completing some of the shots downfield, it makes for quick series, and then it gets our defense right back on the field. We've got to get this running game going regardless of how many people they put in the box.
One back in the backfield, and that is Marino. He'll take the handoff. Left tackle. He tries to again find a hole, and it's just not there as Kentucky closes it up with a big defensive tackle, Corey Peters from Louisville, 6'3" and 290. Came over to tackle Marino up high, and again, minimal gain on the play, maybe one. It's 3rd and 8 from the 22-yard line. Dogs not making a lot of progress here. Third quarter, 6:24 on the clock. Kentucky leading it 24-21, and a 10-point surge here in the quarter has livened up this crowd here at Commonwealth Stadium.
And the Dogs 2 for 6 on 3rd down so far today.
3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Stafford in the shotgun will throw from the pocket. Fires over the middle. It is caught at the 34-yard line. Muhammad Massaquoi, and that's a first down as he is slung to the ground at the 34. But Stafford that time, Z, just stood in the pocket, waited for his man to come open, and Massaquoi did and reeled it in to move the sticks.
Well, he did, and he had a nice pocket to stand in, too. Davis, Bowling, Glenn, Jones, and Davis, all of them did a really good job securing that pocket and creating a nice space for Stafford to step up and deliver the ball.
Ashton Cobb made the tackle for Kentucky, but the Dogs move the chains. 1st and 10. Stafford throws to the right on the run, complete to Massaquoi. Had a partial block out there, but Michael Moore unable to sustain it, but Massaquoi will gain about 5 on that running pass to the right side up to the 40-yard line. Shamari Moore and Ashton Cobb again making the tackle.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. That's just another way to run the ball, although you're throwing it, and to get 5 yards on that, get a second down and short, put you in third and short type situation, second and short or medium situation here. Much better place to be when you've got a very athletic defensive line you're playing against.
Yeah, Massaquoi got 6 on that play. It's 2nd and 4, 3 receivers to the near side. Stafford looking on the far side, fires complete to Durham at the 48. Chris Durham turns and runs downfield to the 48-yard line of Kentucky. He was tripped up at the 48 by Burden, Randall Burden, a redshirt freshman from LaGrange, Georgia, made the tackle. But again, Georgia moves the chains. Another first down for the Bulldogs as the Dogs are driving here.
Another good job by the Georgia offensive line, giving Matthew Stafford a chance to scan the entire field. Started out looking to his left, ended up coming back to Chris Durham on his right on a curl route where Chris kept working back to him.
3 receivers left and 1 right, and Stafford throws out of the shotgun. Pass is complete, caught. Jumping up high is Michael Moore at the 28, and he's tackled at the 25-yard line. Marcus McClinton, the free safety, brought him down. But Michael Moore running a nice pattern just inside the hash marks, made a nice catch, and the Dogs are moving to the 25-yard line on that play.
Yeah, that nice pattern of Michael Moore was just a post pattern right into the middle of cover 2, and Matthew Stafford threw it right over the linebacker or defensive back's head for a nice completion.
23-yard gain as the Dogs again 1st and 10. 3 bunched up receivers tight on the right side of the line. They bring Sutherland, the fullback, in motion. Toss sweep goes to Marino, running hard, 25, cuts downfield, 20, and tripped up right there, maybe to the 19-yard line. A gain of 5 and possibly 6, depending on the spot. Jenkins and Burden making the tackle on Noshawn as he ran to the right side. They'll give him 5 on the play. 2nd down and 5 call it as the Dogs continue to move. They're at the Wildcat 20-yard line, trailing 24-21, getting late in the 3rd quarter, 3:40 on the clock, and it's ticking.
This is just the kind of drive, though, that Georgia needed here, getting Noshawn back involved. Matthews finding a little bit of a rhythm.
Stafford under center, handed off to Noshawn. Noshawn spins on the right side, shaking off defenders, and at the 10, at the 5, and touchdown. Noshawn Marino spinning at the line of scrimmage at the 20, was able to stiff arm a couple of attackers as he sprints into the far corner of the end zone for the score.
That's his second touchdown of the day, where he's just running through people and spinning off of people, doing a great job.
He ought to patent that spin move and that stiff arm. He's so
really
good.
should.
He's good at both of them. Point after try by Walsh is good, and the Dogs regain the lead. Georgia back in front with 3:21 to go in the 3rd quarter, 28-24. The Dogs go 80 yards and score on the 20-yard run by Noshawn Marino. Timeout here in Lexington. Pause for these words on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
You guys ready for the game? All right. Well, management told me they weren't paying me for pep talk, so I'm going to stop now.
You know that place between saving money and sacrificing quality?
We are so there.
What's the point of saving money if you get lousy results, especially when it comes to car insurance? State Farm can give you the right amount of coverage, plus with discounts up to 40%. You'll like how much you can save. State Farm is there.
Where red meets black, State Farm is there. Discounts may vary 5 to 40% state to state. Yeah!
The goal line stand, the Hail Mary, the hook and ladder. At some point, each of these plays turned what appeared to be a hopeless situation into a joyous triumph. So if your tailgate is looking bleak, stop off at Publix and make it an ultimate tailgating party by picking up wings, subs, party supplies, or iced tea. Call it the Kelly Remember to Bring Something This Time play, or the You Can't Call Chris a Mooch Anymore play. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
11 working as one. Linemen, receivers, running backs, and the QB working as a team. Success depends on cooperation. It's the same with Georgia Power and Salvation Army's Project Share. The community works together to help others in need. Visit georgiapower.com or check the Project Share box on your monthly bill to participate. Donations are matched by Georgia Power and help families with their utility and medical bills. We're on, so you and the Bulldogs can be. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Dogs take the lead, 28-24, 20-yard touchdown run by Noshawn Marino, his 2nd score of the day. He now has 14 touchdowns on the year. That's tops in the SEC in all of them. The rushing variety as we go down to the sidelines in Lauren Smith. Lauren?
Hey, Scott, you could feel a surge of energy down here on the sideline when Noshan went into the end zone. He made a lot of those yards on his own. So it was really quite interesting to see the reaction here on the field. I just hope that surge of energy is running up down the spines of those defensive players. We need a big stop here.
AJC scoreboard, Auburn, Tennessee Martin tied at 7 now in the first. Pittsburgh 20-7 on Louisville in the fourth. Samford leads Georgia Southern 20-17. They are in the third. Marino keying that drive with that 20-yard touchdown run. He has 87 yards now on 16 carries. An 8-play, 80-yard drive as the Dogs answer Kentucky. And that was big as they regained the lead.
It really was. This obviously is another big series. We've got to find a way to shut down this Kentucky offense and really shut down their ground game.
E.J. Adams and Winston Guy, the deep men, as Walsh kicks it, not so deep, taken on the 10 by Guy. Straight ahead running to the 20, 25, knocks down his own man, and then cuts to the right and is pushed out of bounds by Akeem Dent. So Kentucky will have the ball first and 10 at the 30-yard lines where they'll spot it. And here we go again, trying to stop this Kentucky running game. They've rushed for 174 yards today. Dogs came into the game second in the league in rush defense, but Kentucky has been playing a nice little game. Not necessarily hide and seek. A lot of it's just been power running with their fullback.
Yeah, it really has. They're utilizing the option, utilizing a couple of different ways to get Randall the ball on the outside, running with the football. But we know they're not going to beat us throwing the ball downfield.
Cobb will throw to the right side, and the pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Was that Irvin? Corvey Irvin may have batted it down as Cobb dropped back, and we pointed this out earlier at 5'11". He's he's kind of small back there behind all those huge linemen. He tried to throw it right, and we batted it down incomplete. It's 2nd and 10 from the 30.
And they've compensated pretty well, moving the pocket, getting him outside of the pocket to compensate for that. But that's going to be an issue he has until he learns how to find those holes.
They'll run the option down the right side of the line of scrimmage, pitch it back, and nothing there for Tony Dixon. Roderick Battle playing it well, staying home and tending to business, forcing Dixon out at the 30, and maybe even a loss on the play of a foot or two. We'll see where they spot the ball, but it's going to be 3rd down and about 10.5. Yeah, he lost almost a full yard.
And for the first time today, we actually had somebody both on the quarterback and on the pitch man all day long, or to this point. We've only had somebody collapsing on the quarterback, which is why they've had those big gains running the football.
3rd and 10.5 for Kentucky from just inside the 30. They'll try a screen to the right. The pass is complete to Smith and down at the 36-yard line. Rennie Curran and Prince Miller stopping him shy of the first down by about 5 yards. And Kentucky will have to punt it away. That's a nice defensive stand by Georgia. After they score, now they get the ball back.
Well, exactly what you wanted to do. And, one thing that we haven't seen Kentucky do yet is throw the football down the field. I think the longest pass they've thrown is a hitch so far today. They get in 3rd and long situations. They've gone to that screen 3 times now. We need to continue to play bump and run on them and get as many guys in that box as we can.
Tim Mastay back to punt it away. Prince Miller, the deep man, on the 25. Here's the kick by Mastay, and it is a beauty. A long, hanging punt. And Miller, he touched it! And now he runs into the end zone, and now he's got to find a way out. Prince Miller out of bounds. He got out of the end zone, but pushed out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. A huge mistake by Prince Miller. He touched it inside the 10, trying to field the high, long kick. He couldn't handle it cleanly. It bounced in the end zone. He gathered it in and just tried to get what he could, and what he got wasn't much, out just past the 2.
Well, after the mental mistake of drifting back and touching the football, at least he had the wherewithal to pick that ball up and get out of the end zone. But, boy, I'll tell you what, it's another time, just mental mistakes there in special teams. We've done it a couple of times this year, and it's put our offense in tough situations coming out from the goal line.
On the 2. Oh, my goodness. 28-24, Georgia leads. but the Dogs are seriously backed up. We give it to Noshan. He breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage, spins his way and falls forward to across the 5 and maybe the 6-yard line. He got about 4 yards on that carry to get a little breathing room. Ventrell Jenkins and Ashton Cobb, the defensive end and the safety for the Wildcats, making the stop as Marino nears 100 yards for the day. That puts him over 90 on that 4-yard carry.
And just keep feeding him, too. He's going to get stronger and stronger as the game goes on here. And we've got to get that offensive line of ours moving forward and starting to push this Kentucky defensive line back and slow them down a little bit.
Dogs from the 6, toss to Marino, comes to the near side looking for room, nothing there, and they'll drop him for a loss. Myron Pryor, a 6'1", 310-pounder defensive tackle from Louisville, wraps up Marino just behind the line of scrimmage. And now that's going to bring up 3rd down, and this will be a huge play for Georgia because if you don't convert, you're kicking out of your own end zone.
That's right, and you're kicking into the wind as well, which is going to increase the field position or better the field position for Kentucky.
Loss of a yard on that last carry. The ball spotted on the 5 on the near hash. Split backfield, Chappis and Marino. Shotgun as Stafford walks back up to the line of scrimmage to change the play. 1 receiver to the right and 3 or 2 to the left, and we hand it off to Marino, and Marino running his way straight ahead past the 10 up near the 12-yard line. But I think it's going to be short of the 1st down. They've got the ball spotted. Looks really close to the 11. And the Cats will call a time as the Dogs come up short on 3rd down.
And the Cats call timeout here. Quarter was about to run out. They did want Georgia to kick into the wind, I believe.
We'll take a quick 30-second SEC break here on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
I'm George Head, business manager of the Plumbers, Pipe Fitters, and Service Technicians Local 72. Our members make great pay, have full health care coverage, and a pension plan for retirement. We've had great success in recruiting new members, and we continue to search for the very best to join our brotherhood. We still have outstanding job opportunities for new apprentices and experienced journeymen. Give us a call at 404-371-0085 or visit our website at ua72.org. We take pride in what we do, so make that call and go Dogs!
AJC scoreboard: North Carolina 21, Georgia Tech 7. Getting late in the 4th. Michigan State 21-0 on Purdue. They are in the 4th. Here it's 28-24 Georgia. 12 seconds remain in the 3rd, and Kentucky call a timeout, as Eric said, to force Georgia to kick into the wind, and that's what Mims will do. He's standing about 2 yards deep in the end zone. And Randall Cobb is the deep man. And Kentucky almost got another one, and they may have gotten a piece of it as the ball will hit on the 35 and take a Kentucky bounce out of bounds near the 30. Did they get a piece of that?
I'm not sure if they did or not. If they didn't, it was just a shank right off the side of his foot. But boy, special teams all of a sudden starting to play a really big role in this football game.
Is that a 19-yard punt? Ouch. 2 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Cats have it on the Georgia 29-yard line. Cobb will drop back into the shotgun. 1 setback. That's Dixon to his left. Fakes the handoff to him. Cobb keeps it over the left side and ducks his head across the 25 and maybe down to the 24-yard line for a gain of about 5. Miller and Bird converge to make the stop, and that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter with Georgia leading Kentucky here in Lexington 28-24, but the Cats have the ball deep in Georgia territory. Timeout. Pause now for these words on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
Ken Butler, president of Aaron's, and Ray Goff, University of Georgia player, coach, and now Aaron's franchisee.
Hi, I'm Ray Goff here to talk about the dogs.
So Ray means the lucky dogs who shop at Aaron's.
Who else would I mean, Ken? At Aaron's, you're a lucky dog because we never check your credit and you always get Aaron's guaranteed low price.
Aaron's has flexible lease-owned plans and name-brand furniture, electronics, appliances, and computers.
No wonder we say everyone's a lucky dog at Aaron's.
Visit shopaarons.com to find the store near you.
The Dogs know what it takes to win at home, and your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams paint store knows what it takes to make your home a winner, too. You can always count on Sherwin-Williams for exceptional products and unparalleled expertise because painting and decorating is what we do. And now save $8 per gallon on super paint. For the best in football, it's the Dogs. And for the best in paint, it's Sherwin-Williams, the official paint of the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network. You'll be amazed what happens when you ask. Ask Sherwin-Williams. For a store near you, visit Sherwin-Williams.com.
Hey, Bulldogs fans, when it comes to appliances, find a winning lineup at Lowe's, the exclusive home improvement partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. Lowe's offers over 200 major appliances ready to take home today, or get free next-day local delivery, haul away, and hookup of any major appliance purchase $397 or more via mail-in rebate. So when you're ready to make the trade, come to Lowe's. See store for details. Lowe's, let's build something together.
Hi folks, Scott Howard here for Napa Auto Parts, reminding you that shorter days are here and holiday travel time is just around the corner. So it's time to check your battery, wiper blades, lights, cooling system, tire pressure, and other critical areas of your vehicle. And the parts pros at Napa can help you do it right. They're the best in the business, and with locations throughout the Bulldog Network listening area, you're never far from a Napa store. So get to Napa before you hit the road.
Get the good stuff! Do you need to buy or sell tickets to the hottest Georgia events? Go to SeatExchange.com. Tough tickets made easy. SeatExchange.com.
Second and 5 for Kentucky at the Georgia 24-yard line. Just starting the fourth quarter. Dogs up 28-24. Shotgun snap to Cobb. He'll keep it and run to the near hash, cuts outside, spins away from a tackler down to the 15-yard line. A first down for Kentucky and a gain of 10 on the run. Gamble and Jones made the stop for Georgia, but Cobb again picks up another quick 10 yards. And they'll spot the ball on the Bulldog 14-yard line.
Anytime you use the quarterback to run the football, you end up having one more blocker typically than you otherwise would. You've got to get more people down into the box, maybe even play cover zero. They're not going to ever, haven't shown the propensity to beat you downfield throwing the football.
Cobb stays in the shotgun, two receivers right and one to the left. We'll hand it off this time to Dixon. Dixon with a hole, 10, 5, left corner of the end zone, touchdown. Kentucky takes the lead once again. Tony Dixon ran it to the left side, and he had a big hole to run through, and then nothing but green space in front of him once he broke past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and what he left behind were white jerseys that were on the ground, and this Georgia defense right now walking around, hanging their head a little bit after that play. Understandably so, how effective this Kentucky offense has been on the ground, but now we've got to dig down deep and finish this drill because it's going to be a battle to the final gun.
Lona Sieber for the point after to make it a 3-point Kentucky lead. There's the snap and the hold and the kick. It's good, and the Cats back in front. It's 31-28 Kentucky, 14:26 to go in the fourth quarter here in Lexington. Timeout on the field. Let's pause for these words on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
If you're a Bulldogs fan, remember that Kroger is the right store to help make your next tailgate party a hit. Of course, you don't want to cheer the Dogs on to victory on an empty stomach, so Kroger has all the chips, dips, and soft drinks you're going to need. Or take it up a notch with a couple of hot rotisserie chickens or St. Louis-style ribs, or maybe even a party platter from the deli, made to order with sandwiches, wings, or other favorites. Cheer the Bulldogs on in style and make your tailgate party a hit with a little help from Kroger. Right store, right price.
Hey Dogs fans, this is Hondo Williamson with a travel tip for those away games. One word, VZ Navigator. Okay, that's 2 words, but here's the point. When you're following the Dogs, you can't go wrong with VZ Navigator from Verizon Wireless. You get GPS maps, audible turn-by-turn directions, traffic alerts for avoiding congestion, and directions to the cheapest gas near you. Sign up for VZ Navigator and hit the road with confidence. VZ Navigator from Verizon Wireless, America's most reliable wireless network.
Additional charges and coverage required. Accuracy is not guaranteed.
On your feet, Georgia fans. Eric Zier here saying grab a Miller Lite because it's border battle time. Time to stretch your red and black. Time to celebrate every monster hit. Every embarrass our rivals in their own state play. And every bragging rights guarantee and touchdown with great taste and refreshment. So raise a Miller Lite and let's make sure all the folks down in Jacksonville hear our chapel bell.
Live responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Albany, Georgia.
Which is what the normal ratios are. Yeah, but we're not even using the third linebacker. We have another.
Well, Kentucky takes advantage of the field position after a 19-yard punt. The Dogs were backed up to begin with. Cats go 29 yards in 3 plays, a 15-yard touchdown run by Tony Dixon. They take the lead, 31-28, as we pause for station identification on the Bulldogs Radio Network. (31-28). Dogs have been hit hard on defense over the last 3 games. They've given up 118 points now to LSU, Florida, and now Kentucky.
And it is a team game. We have to be always mindful of the fact that they're operating off of a short field several times, just like they did there.
A low line drive kick bounces on the 5 and out of bounds. So again, an opportunity now for Georgia as it hits out of bounds on the near sideline, and the Dogs will have it 1st and 10 at the 40.
Against the kicking team, the ball will be placed at the 40-yard line. 1st and 10.
This game summary sponsored by Regions Bank, proud sponsor of the Bulldogs. Georgia led it at halftime, 21-14. Kentucky got a 40-yard field goal on the first possession. Then they blocked the Georgia punt on the Dogs' next possession, and then cashed in with a 10-yard Randall Cobb run. A 20-yard touchdown run by Noshawn Marino and a 15-yard run by Dixon for Kentucky in the second half, and it's 31-28 Wildcats, but the Dogs have it 1st and 10 on the 40. Stafford play action in the pocket, will throw it deep, trying to go to A.J. Green. It is caught! A.J. Green at the 20-yard line. Make it the 19, his first catch of the day. David Jones trying to cover the 6'4 freshman, but he couldn't get it done. He did make the tackle, though.
Kentucky there just playing quarters like they started out doing right at the start of the game. We ran a post right behind the safety and had the angle on the cornerback, and very well thrown football, and a good job for A.J. Green going up to get that catch. His first catch of the day, by the way.
42 yards on the reception. Noshawn Marino with a key block to protect it. And the Dogs 1st and 10 on the Kentucky 18-yard line. Give it to Noshawn, left tackle. Big hole! Noshawn to the corner, and he high steps into the end zone. Touchdown, Noshawn Marino, his 3rd touchdown this afternoon.
Boy, good job up front by Davis and Bowling just to open up some holes. Bowling and Glenn to open up. Nice hole for Noshawn, who just waltzed into the end zone.
Wow. Man. He had a huge gaping hole on the left side. And the Dogs answer in a hurry, 34-31, and the point after to make it 35 if Walsh converts. There's the snap and the hold and the kick, and he does convert. Good. 35-31, Dogs answer in a hurry, 60 yards in 2 plays. 13:49 to go in this ball game. It's a shootout. Timeout. Pause for these words on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
I've always dreamed of having some type of room that would go into my garden, and when people come into the house, that's where I take them.
Georgia Bulldog legend Vince Dooley for champion window siding and patio rooms.
These people are professional, and they take great pride in their work. I have no hesitation about shouting that this is a great product.
Find out for yourself why Vince and Barbara Dooley say that their champion patio room is their favorite room in the house. Call 770-817-1953.
So the other day, I was watching the game on TV, and I kept seeing commercial after commercial with car companies comparing their trucks to Toyota, saying they can tow as much as a Toyota truck or haul as much as a Toyota truck. Well, all this talk got me thinking, instead of driving a truck that has a lot of things like a Toyota truck, wouldn't it just make sense to buy, a Toyota truck?
Nothing compares to Toyota. Toyota, moving forward.
Everyone wants to spend less and get more. Well, now you can with Charter Communications. Hi, this is Scott Howard. Get the most for the least when you bundle your Charter services. That's what works for me. Cable TV, Charter high-speed internet, and Charter telephone with unlimited local and long-distance calling for as low as $99.97 a month. Add HD for an even better package. The only thing that could beat that is a Bulldog touchdown. Remember, the bundle is better. Call Charter Communications for more details. 1-888-GET-CHARTER or go to charter.com. Dogs regain the lead, 35-31. Let's go down to the sidelines. Lauren Smith for Cook's Pest Control sideline report. Lauren?
Scott, I had a good feeling before the offense took the field because Noshan was really stalking. You know, he's an energetic fella. He was stalking with his jaw firmly set, so I felt like if they gave him a crack, he was going to do something in that series. But the big play, of course, was that pass to A.J. Green. What a catch. When he goes up for the ball, you can count on him catching it.
And Marino had a key block on that pass play to give Stafford the time to throw, and then a 19-yard touchdown run, his third touchdown of the day. Noshan over 100 yards, 113 yards rushing for the redshirt sophomore. That is his 12th career 100-yard-plus rushing game and his 6th this season. Noshan Marino over 1,000 yards for the season in today's game as well, and he's doing it all today.
And, Scott, how big do special teams come into play really in every game? Again, there, Kentucky kicks the football out of bounds, gives us very good field position. On the flip side, we've had a punt blocked and then a punt that was basically shanked, giving Kentucky very good field position. Huge swings of momentum.
Walsh will kick it off deep, 1.5 yards deep into the end zone. And they will run it out with Winston Guy. He's got a burst, and he's got a lane. He's all the way to midfield at the 40. 2 men to beat, running behind a blocker at the 20. Cuts back at the 15, and we finally tackle him at the 4-yard line. A 96-yard kickoff return by Winston Guy for Kentucky. Hold on to your hats. We got a long way to go.
And we just talked about the importance of special teams play and how big of a momentum shift it can give your football team. And once again, Kentucky, another huge play on special teams, giving them virtually no field here to work with. First and goal on the 4-yard line.
Drew Williams made the tackle, the touchdown saving tackle. We'll see if it's just delaying the inevitable. Maybe the Dogs defense can come up with a big play. First and goal from the Georgia 4. Here are the Cats running with Dixon. Cuts to the outside, takes a wide angle, curled around to the near side, forced back by Justin Houston, and then Asher Allen made the tackle on Dixon. And did he get back to the line of scrimmage? He may have, but just barely. Georgia almost had him in the behind the 5-yard line for a loss, but they'll spot it back on the 4, maybe just inside of it. Second down and goal. Dixon, the lone setback to the right of Cobb in the shotgun. He looks to the sideline, gets the play call. Now shuffles behind the line of scrimmage to let the lineman know what it is. There's the snap in the shotgun. Quarterback draw, right side. Cobb pushing his way down to the 1. Still pushing. No signal from the officials. I think they're going to spot him on the 1 or just shy of the goal line anyway. Did not get into the end zone, despite what the Kentucky fans here at Commonwealth Stadium thought they saw.
And Cobb is coming up from the pile, too, wanting coaches to review the play. He's saying that he did indeed get in the end zone. It's really tough to tell.
Yeah, the ball, I mean, the nose of the ball is almost touching the goal line. So he needs about 6 or 7 inches. Third and goal from inside the 1. And this time Cobb under center. Dogs crowd the line. Everybody up on the line of scrimmage, and a timeout.
The previous play is under further review.
So there you go. They'll review the play. We'll take a quick 30-second SEC break here on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
If you're already a Regions Bank customer, we thank you for your business. If not, there's never been a better time to give us a try. Regions is strong. Regions is stable. In fact, when the FDIC needed a bank to assume approximately $900 million in deposits from an Atlanta area bank, they turned to Regions. So if you're looking for strength, stability, and opportunity, go to Regions.com, call 1-800-REGIONS, or stop by a branch today. Regions, proud to be the official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC.
Final score on the AJC scoreboard: North Carolina 28, Georgia Tech 7. Michigan State leading Purdue in the 4th 21-7, and South Carolina leads Arkansas in the 3rd 20-7. Here it's 35-31, Georgia leading Kentucky in a game that Georgia scored the first 2 touchdowns, but since then it's been almost back and forth. It certainly has been back and forth here in the second half, and Kentucky threatening to retake the lead again as they have it 3rd and goal from inside the 1, and they're reviewing the last play to see if Cobb got in the end zone.
And Kentucky's mounted this charge entirely on the ground through a lot of different looks. The option out of the eye with Cobb under center. They've run the spread option several times.
After review, ruling on the field stands as called. 3rd down.
So Kentucky will try it again on 3rd and goal from inside the 1. Dogs, 11 guys in the box, if you will. And Kentucky tries to push their way forward. Cobb may have not gotten in there. No, he did. Oh, he just barely got in there. The linesman on the near side came in with the touchdown signal, and for a while it looked like his first push wasn't going to get him across, but his second effort apparently did, and Kentucky is back in the lead, 37-35, pending the point after.
And that's rushing touchdown number 3 on the day for Randall Cobb.
He's trying to keep up with Noshawn. 12:15 to go in the game. That's time for a good 6 touchdowns the way this one's going. Lona Sieber for the point after for the Wildcats. There's the snap. It's a little bit high. Mastay gets it down, and Sieber puts it through the uprights. It's good, and the Cats lead by a score of 38-35. 3-point lead for Kentucky. 12:15 to go in the game. Dogs get the ball. Hang on. We'll take a timeout. Pause for these words on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Barbara Dooley, and I want to talk about customer satisfaction. I've had financial dealings with many banks out there. If you have too, you'll totally relate to my message. Have you ever heard we could never get that done in time, or we've never done anything like that before? I don't do business with those banks anymore because I never say never. The day I was introduced to Georgian Bank, the word never took on the most positive meaning I've ever heard.
Georgian Bank. Never business as usual.
Never.
Member FDIC.
Well, my name's Bill Majewski, and I have a 525-mile daily commute. Man, I drive a truck for a living, so it's part of the job. And after a long day of being on the road, I can't wait to get behind the wheel of my new 2009 Dodge Ram Crew 1500.
People who drive for a living drive a Dodge, like the all-new Dodge Ram Crew 1500 with a new multi-link coil spring rear suspension. It never backs down from a challenge. Check it out at ramchallenge.com. Based on Automotive News full-size pickup segmentation, the views expressed are not those of an actual consumer.
In football, it's important to call the right play. For successful protection from termites, it's even more important to make the right call. To protect your home from termites, call the unbeatable combination: Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Discover how affordable it is to upgrade to the guaranteed protection of Centricon. Call Cook's Pest Control for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Kentucky leads 38-35. A 96-yard kickoff return by Winston Guy setting up that last score. About a 6-inch plunge by Randall Cobb, the quarterback, to give Kentucky the 3-point lead. AJC scoreboard: Nebraska 7, Kansas 7 in the second. Auburn 13-7, leading Tennessee Martin there in the first. South Carolina with a 20-14 lead now on Arkansas in the third. And Tennessee has scored, but they still trail Wyoming 13-7 in Knoxville in the fourth. Here it's a 3-point lead for the Wildcats as the ball once again falls off the tee, and Tim Mastay will have to go and set it back up again. Richard Samuel is the deep man for Georgia as the Dogs will return the kickoff from left to right. They have fallen behind again. It's been back and forth here in the second half as again the wind knocks the ball off the tee, and I think the official says he'll get one more try to see if it'll stand up on its own. Then after that they'll have to bring up one of the kick coverage men and he'll have to hold the ball. 12:15 to play in the game. 3-point Kentucky lead. Here's Mastay with a kick. A long, high, end-over-end kick. Samuel gets under it, takes it at the 2. Straight ahead to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and up to the 22-yard line. Or maybe the 21. Let's see where they spot it. Looks like closer to the 21. And that's where they'll spot it, and the Dogs have a man down on the far side of the field. Fields is down on the far side on the kick return team. Justin Fields is shaken up. He's being helped up. AJC scoreboard, Michigan State 21-7 on Purdue. That is a final. The Spartans defeating the Boilermakers. Wisconsin running it up on Indiana 55-20. The Badgers leading big in the fourth. Here it looks like it's going to be last man standing. Who has the ball last may have the chance to win the ball game.
Well, it really does. And for the Georgia defense, they've got to feel a little bit of deja vu from last week. 3 of the last 4 drives that Kentucky's had, they started from the Georgia 10, the 29, and the 4-yard line. So again, operating on a short field.
Crowd responding to a score they saw as we run a reverse with A.J. Green. He's got running room. 25, 30, 35, near sideline, 40, 45, and out of bounds at the 49-yard line. A.J. Green, we ran the play to the left with Noshawn Marino. He flipped it to Green, who ran a reverse to the near side and picked up almost 30 yards on that jaunt up the near sideline.
And got loose with a great block from Matthew Stafford on that reverse after Matthew pitched it and Noshawn took off to the left. Matthew rolled around to the right and got actually the seal block on the edge that broke A.J. Green loose.
How about that? It is a team game, isn't it? We bunch up 3 receivers to the left side, bring the fullback in motion. That's Chappis. And Stafford will fire. Quick, hard pass. High. It's a high pass, and Massaquoi makes it at the 45. The ball is ripped loose. There's a big pile right in front of the Kentucky bench. The officials are saying that Kentucky has the football. Massaquoi caught it. He had to go high to get it. He came down. They ripped it out. And Kentucky has the fumble recovery near midfield.
Boy, how about that? From up here in the booth, it looked like there was a face mask on the play, but no flags on the ground. And the Kentucky offense is now out on the field.
Yeah, it's Kentucky's ball. So the Dogs fumble it after a big play at midfield. And Kentucky back on the field, leading it 38-35, 11:24 to go in the ball game. They're on the Georgia 49-yard line. Connor and Dixon are in the backfield, an offset I. Cobb is under center. 1 receiver to each side. Cobb going to run it down the right side of the line of scrimmage, pitch it back to Dixon. Dent is there. Can he make the stop? Dent doesn't, but somebody else did. Was that Bird? Bird or Miller? Yeah, C.J. Bird and Prince Miller, and then Dent all in there to stop Dixon on the far side of the football field. And a loss, a sizable loss on the play of about 6 yards back to the Kentucky 46. They call it a loss of 5. It'll be 2nd and 15 for the Wildcats.
And for Randall Cobb, that was really his first bad read on the option all day. Pitched that one way too soon, and we had several defenders over there ready to make the play.
He's in the shotgun. He drops back. He wants to throw a screen. Still holding on to it. Just throws it into the ground behind the line of scrimmage. They were trying to set up a middle screen, and Cobb had nowhere to go with it. He kept backpedaling and then just threw it into the turf. Brandon Wood and Jarius Wynn converging to force Cobb to throw it into the ground.
And Cobb 9 for 14 throwing the football today, but again, has not thrown anything longer than a hitch route, a 5-yard quick pass down the field today. So obviously not the kind of position they want to be in right now.
Sizable play right here on 3rd and 15. Dogs can hold and possibly get the ball back after a fumble at midfield. Snap to Cobb. He's in the pocket standing. He's got time. Flushed out to the right side. We're grabbing his jersey, and he throws it. Boy, a dangerous pass that lands about 2 feet in front of Remarcus Brown. Incomplete. We were tugging on Cobb's jersey. He was able to get it away. Jarius Wynn was tugging on him, trying to bring him down. But a good, nice stand by the Dogs defense to force Kentucky into a 4th down and long situation, and they'll have to punt it away.
And Cobb, they're fortunate that that ball wasn't picked off. We were yanking on his jersey. He couldn't get anything on that ball, and it fell short in front of 2 or 3 Bulldog defenders.
Boy, dangerous, too. That was almost intercepted as Logan Gray stands back on the 10 for Georgia. And Mastay will punt it for Kentucky. Gets the punt off. High, wobbly spiral. Fair catch called for it. Hits a Kentucky player, and a flag is on the field interfering with the catch. Should be the call on Kentucky, and the ball bounces out of bounds on the near sideline. But Logan Gray tried to come up and field the punt, and it hit off the back of one of the Wildcats. It may have been Winston Guy, the guy who returned the kick a few moments ago, 96 yards. The officials are going to huddle up. They threw a flag, and we'll see what the call is here momentarily. They're looking to see where they should mark the penalty off or spot the ball. As we check the AJC scoreboard, Pittsburgh crushed Louisville 41-7.
Interference with the opportunity to catch a kick with the kicking team, number 19. 15 yards was upon the foul, 1st and 10.
Oh, big 15-yarder, so Georgia should have it around the 35-yard line. Iowa State leading Colorado at halftime 10-0 on the AJC scoreboard. Down to the sidelines and Lauren Smith. Lauren?
Tough break, Scott, for Justin Fields, who, when he went down, I saw him signal for help, and then they helped him off the field, so usually that's not a good sign. They won't say exactly what it is, but he's got ice on his knee, so it's a knee injury. All they're saying is knee injury, he's out. But my guess is it's not very good for him.
Unfortunate break as Georgia goes back to work. 1st and 10 on their own 35. Handed off to Noshan. He covers up the ball, tries to get to the right corner. Tripped up, breaks a tackle, spins at the 40, and falls forward for a 5-yard gain. Now here comes some flags flying in late. Oh, that may be something bad on the Dogs, as we may have a personal foul. Those came in well after Marino was down. 3 flags hit the turf, and the Kentucky people applauded. So the Dogs may be backed up here.
After the play was over, personal foul on the offense, number 63. 15 yards, and then the run. The down counts. It's 2nd down.
Chris Davis is the one that was called out for the personal foul, and that backs the Dogs up, wipes out a 5-yard gain in the process.
Yeah, and a really nice effort there by Noshan. Again, like he does so many times, using his free arm to keep his balance and get a few more yards, but all that taken back on the personal foul.
Ball on the just across the 25-yard line. 2nd down and 20. Stafford in the shotgun, stands in the pocket, throws it deep, far sideline. He's got a man. Oh, just out of the reach of A.J. Green, who had 2 steps on his defender, David Jones. Green had him beat, and the pass just out of his reach.
And really a good throw this time by Matthew Stafford. He had a lot of heat in his face from that Kentucky defensive line. Had to let it go just a hair before he wanted to, and again, just on the fingertips of A.J. Green.
3rd and long for the Dogs. 3rd and 20 from the 26-yard line. Well, previous play, the ball was spotted closer to the 25. Now it's almost at the 26. Kentucky has a 3-point lead, 38-35 with 9:42 to go. Shotgun snap to Stafford. He's standing in the pocket. He'll throw it to Massaquoi. He's wide open. Massaquoi cuts up field and gets the 1st down, and then he fumbles it again. The ball is still loose. Rolling. A pile up back on the Kentucky 37-yard line, and I think the Cats have come up with it again. Massaquoi had the 1st down, Eric. Couldn't hang on to the football.
Boy, he did. It was just a little crossing route over the middle. Momass catches it, does a great job running with the football until he coughs it up. And this opportunistic Kentucky defense, 22 takeaways coming into the game, gets another one here.
I think Robbie McAtee may have come up with the loose ball. But Kentucky has it 1st and 10. All of a sudden, Georgia had gone practically the entire game without a turnover, and now 2 late turnovers here in the 4th quarter. And the Cats have the ball on their own 38-yard line, 1st and 10 with 9:28 to go, and I think they're going to review this play. They are. So they're going to review the play, and we'll take a quick 30-second SEC break on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
Ken Butler, president of Aaron's, and Ray Goff, University of Georgia player, coach, and now Aaron's franchisee.
Welcome to the Aaron's family, Ray.
Thanks, Ken. Hey, this is one heck of a family room we have here, isn't it?
Sure is. Full of name brand furniture, electronics, appliances, and computers. All at Aaron's guaranteed low price. You don't need credit, and you get 12, 18, or 24 months to pay.
No wonder we say everyone's a lucky dog at Aaron's.
Visit shopaarons.com to find the store near you.
AJC scoreboard, Western Michigan upsets Illinois 23-17. With the Broncos beating the Fighting Illini, and Samford leading Georgia Southern 27-17. They are in the fourth quarter. The previous play is under review. A first down reception by Muhammad Massaquoi, and Kentucky knocked the ball loose. They recovered a fumble at the 37-yard line, or 38.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The ball was fumbled. First down, Kentucky.
It was close. Muhammad was almost had a knee down when the ball came loose, but that's the right call. We looked at the replay, and the ball did come loose before he was touched down. So the second fumble here in as many possessions for Georgia. And the Cats have the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 38, and a 3-point lead, and the clock at 9:28. Cobb in the shotgun. Takes the snap and will hand it off. Straight ahead running is Smith. Alfonso Smith up across the 45 to the 46-yard line. A gain of about 8 on the play. Second down coming up for Kentucky.
Alfonso Smith now has roughly 64 yards on the day to accompany Randall Cobb 72 yards, of the two leading rushers for the Wildcats.
Houston and Jones made the tackle for the Dogs. 2nd and 2 now. Kentucky's offense on the 46-yard line, their own 46, as Cobb checks for the play to the near sideline. In the shotgun, he'll take the snap. Quarterback draw, running straight ahead. Avoids the tackles and gets across the 50 and into Georgia territory near the 46-yard line. Randall Cobb running between the tackles and avoiding those tacklers and picking up the first down for Kentucky. Now let's pause for station identification. Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network. Cats and Dogs territory. 1st and 10 on the 45. They'll hand it off straight ahead. Alfonso Smith trying to back his way close to the 40-yard line. He's going to be a little bit shy of that, as he may have gained 4 on the play. They'll spot it on the 41. 4-yard gain. Alfonso Smith. C.J. Bird makes the stop. Rennie Curran in on the tackle as well. The Cats over 200 yards rushing. Cobb with 81, Smith with 60, Dixon with 58. They are a triple threat. Dogs down by 3, trying to hang on, get the ball back. Clock starting to work against them as well. It's under 8 minutes to play. Cats stay in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. The lone setback is Dixon. Cobb will take it again. Another quarterback draw, running right side behind a blocker. And not a lot of running room there. May have picked up a couple of yards to the 39. Curran again on the tackle, along with Asher Allen. Rennie's made a lot of stops today. We need a takeaway right here.
We need a takeaway or a stop. This is a real big 3rd down play, although the way this Kentucky team is going, if they don't get it here, the way they're running the football, they're 2 out of 3 on 4th down conversions. Even if they don't get it, they're at the field position. They're probably going to go for it on 4th down if they get any positive yardage here. So we're probably looking at a 2-down series here for the Kentucky offense.
3rd and 3 on the Georgia 38. Cats moving right to left. Shotgun snap to Cobb. He's in the pocket. He'll throw it to the right side, and it is caught and out of bounds at the 34. Kyrus Langster caught it, reaching up high and going out of bounds almost at the same time, but he picks up the first down for Kentucky. The clock stopped at 6:39.
Just a quick flat into the boundary again. Nothing real fancy or complicated, but efficient enough to pick up the first down.
1st and 10 on the Georgia 34. Cats with the ball, trying to chew up clock and get in scoring position again. Cobb looks to the sideline, walks up to the line of scrimmage, and now back into the shotgun. 2 receivers to the near side and 1 to the far side. Handed off to Dixon. He runs behind right tackle, and not a lot there as Roderick Battle and Rennie Curran again make the stop. Curran might have about 15, 16 tackles by the end of the day.
And he's probably going to need about 7 or 8 more here before the day is done.
Take a fumble recovery right here, Rennie, if you can come up with that. 33-yard lines where they spot the ball. A gain of 1 for Dixon. 2nd down and 9. The clock under 6 minutes now, as that is a factor. Kentucky up by 3, 38-35 on a windy, sunny, cold day in Lexington. Unless the Dogs can get the ball back and stop the Kentucky offense, it's going to be a gloomy day for Georgia. Snap it to Cobb, and nowhere to go. He gets away from Gamble, the tackler, and moves up to about the 31-yard line. He got a 2-yard gain, and he should have had about a 3-yard loss.
Boy, it looked like we had swallowed him up, and then somehow he gets out of the grasp of Gamble and makes his way up the field for a couple-yard gain.
Wynn and Curran making the tackle, but it's 3rd down. Clock still moving at 5:10. Now a little bit less than that. Cats on the 32-yard line of Georgia. 3rd and 7, a long 7. They're in the shotgun with Cobb. Dixon is the lone setback, stands to the left of Cobb. He's got 1 receiver right and 2 to the left. There's the snap, and they hand it off, and they fumble. They fumble the ball, and Dixon just falls on top of it at the 35-yard line. Tried to run a draw on Dixon, and Cobb had a bad exchange, and Tony Dixon just had to fall on it at the 35-yard line. Now what do you do if you're Kentucky? Because your field goal situation it's a long one right here, and you're 4th and 11 or 12.
Well, it's a long field goal, and it's into the wind. They're going to let this clock, I'm sure, run down and take up another 18, now 17 seconds before they make a decision on what they're going to do.
They're going to try to pooch it, it looks like, into the corner. Ryan Tidlachka will try to pooch it from the 35. And Logan Gray is standing on the 10. And now a flag comes out of the pocket of the referee.
Prior to the snap, delay of game on the offense, number 9. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Maybe not. Doesn't matter.
So they'll back them up. Oh, they declined the penalty. So well, you can sit there and do that all day, couldn't you? We delay, we decline, we delay. 4:02 is what's showing on the clock, and the Cats have a 3-point lead. And Ryan Tidlachka is their pooch punter, and he stands at the midfield stripe to try and pooch it and kick the Dogs into a hole. Again, Logan Gray on the 10. There's the snap, and the punt nearly blocked. A high, wobbly spiral. Gray calls for a fair catch, and he makes it at the 16-yard line. Corvey Irvin nearly blocked that thing. He got in there deep and almost got a hand on it. But the Dogs, now with 3:55 to play, have 84 yards of real estate. Now, field goal can tie, and you're kicking more or less with the wind behind you. And a touchdown will win it. Dogs can move the ball. They just got to hang on to it. We've had 2 fumbles here in the 4th quarter.
That's exactly right. We've got 3 timeouts, so we've got plenty of time on the clock to do whatever we need to do. And Blair Walsh has got plenty of leg, especially with the wind behind him, if we can get in position.
3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Shotgun snap to Stafford in the pocket. Throws it over the middle. It's caught by Massaquoi. Massaquoi breaks the tackle. 40, 50. Go, 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 Muhammad. Cuts it to 30, 25, 20. Avoids another tackle all the way down to the 8-yard line. Maybe the 7. Muhammad Massaquoi doing his best impression of Lindsey Scott. Took it all the way down inside the 10.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that was needed and needed right away. The only fear right now is that it happened too quick. But a great job by the Georgia offensive line, and Matthew Stafford just delivered a strike. Momass breaks 1 tackle and is just off to the races.
Robbie McAtee finally brought him down at the 7-yard line, and that quieted the crowd. 78 yards on the pass play. 3:30 on the clock, and it's ticking. Dogs trail by 3, 38-31. They'll line up in the I. Chappis is the fullback. Marino the tail. Toss sweep to Noshan. Marino running behind Chappis to the 5, 4, and tumbles out of bounds right there at the 4-yard line. That'll stop the clock with 3:14 to go.
That 78-yard completion takes Matthew Stafford up to 365 yards on the day through the air.
Peters and Jarman forcing Marino, out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Noshan with 3 scores today and 123 yards on 22 carries. Dogs trying to retake the lead. 3 minutes to play, and the clock is moving. 2nd and goal on the 4. Stafford fakes the handoff. He throws. He almost threw it. He had a man open, and he got tripped up in the backfield. He got tripped up and is sacked back on the 10 or the 11-yard line. Looked like it was at Chandler or Sutherland out in the left corner of the end zone, breaking open, and Stafford couldn't get the ball to him. Sam Maxwell, the linebacker from Hartwell, Georgia, credited with the sack as he got Stafford around the ankle and tripped him up.
And Matthew, it looked like he had a guy wide open in the flat, saw a flash of blue, and it's probably a good thing that he held on to that football, or that may have been picked off.
He went through with the motion and then pulled it in. And now he's standing with the official as they let the clock tick down, and Georgia will call a timeout with the clock stopped at 2:05.
Timeout. Georgia.
Take a deep breath. Dogs trail by 3, 2:05 to play, and Georgia on the Kentucky 11-yard line. A 60-second SEC break right now on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
New at Sanford Stadium this fall, Subway restaurants. But you don't have to go to a Bulldogs game to get the official sandwich of the Georgia Bulldogs. Visit any of the over 425 Subway restaurants in the Atlanta and North Georgia areas for the great fresh taste and some real savings on your food budget at participating Subway restaurants. Like any regular foot-long sub for only $5. Now that's a deal you can really bite into. Subway. Play hard. Eat fresh. Go Dogs.
Hi, this is Eric Zier from Metro PCS. The economy is pretty tough this year, kind of like Georgia's schedule. That's why you need to switch to Metro PCS today. Right now, get 4 unlimited lines for only $100 a month. That's only $25 a month per line for unlimited local and long-distance wireless, all with no contracts. So save big this season, and of course, go Dogs.
To find a store near you, call 1-888-8-METRO-8 or go online to metropcs.com. Metro PCS. Unlimit yourself.
Long distance only in the continental U.S. Tax and fees not included. Certain restrictions apply. See store for today's limited time offer.
Matthew Stafford has his second career 300-yard game, a career-best 365 yards, 2 touchdowns, 16 of 26. And it's coming down to this, 3rd and goal from the 11. 2:05 to play, and the Dogs trail by 3, 38-35.
And you're going against what has been a very strong suit for this Kentucky defense. Their performance within the red zone coming into the game, 14th in the country. Can we put a little dent in that armor and take the lead?
Marino and Samuel in the game at the same time. Marino is lining up as the fullback right now, and Samuel is the tail. Massaquoi and Green line up in a stacked formation on the right side. As the Dogs, once play resumes, will work from the far hash, but we're still in a TV time, so the Dogs can't run their play. 38-35, Kentucky leads. 2:05 to go in the game. A 78-yard pass play took the Dogs from the 15 down inside the Cats 10. Now we send Marino out into the right slot, and Samuel is the lone setback. Noshan in motion, back and forth. Play action from Stafford. Stafford avoids the sack, fakes, runs to the near sideline, still looking, throws it into the end zone, and touchdown! Touchdown, A.J. Green, back right corner of the end zone.
What a great job by Matthew Stafford, buying time once again with his legs, getting out of a mess there in the defensive backfield. I don't know how he found A.J., but got it up to him high. A.J. goes up and makes just a huge catch to give the Dogs a lead.
Was that how they drew it up? Run for your life and throw it in the back corner, and the 6'4" freshman will catch it. Here's the point after by Walsh. and it's good. And the Dogs have taken the lead again. We've said that a time or two in this half. 42-38 with 1:54 to go. Timeout, 60-second SEC break on the Georgia Bulldogs radio network.
Everyone wants to spend less and get more. Well, now you can with Charter Communications. Hi, this is Scott Howard. Get the most for the least when you bundle your Charter services. That's what works for me. Cable TV, Charter high-speed internet, and Charter telephone with unlimited local and long-distance calling for as low as $99.97 a month. Add HD for an even better package. The only thing that could beat that is a Bulldog touchdown. Remember, the bundle is better. Call Charter Communications for more details. 1-888-GET-CHARTER or go to charter.com.
Coach Vince Dooley talks about his patio room from Champion.
I knew I would like it, but I never realized that I would like it as much as I do.
Which is exactly what thousands of people across Atlanta, across the entire U.S., say about Champion window siding and patio rooms. So remember,
when it comes to home improvements, Champion beats the competition hands down.
Call 770-817-1953 for hours and directions to Champion.
Matthew Stafford, 3 picks last week. This week, no picks and 3 touchdowns and a career-high 376 yards. 11-yard touchdown throw to A.J. Green has put Georgia on top as Walsh kicks it high and short. It bounces on the 20, and Kentucky will take it right there with, is that Jones? Jones running to the near side. He's got some running room. We're closing in on him. 30 on the near side, up the sideline, and out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Jones, David Jones, the cornerback, ran it from all the way on the other side of the field to the Kentucky sideline and gets it to about the 36-yard line. And some valuable time ticked off the clock on that. Clock at 1:46. They'll spot it on the 37.
Well, he ran that football about 100 yards east and west,
Yes.
didn't he?
Yes, he did. Cats up to the line of scrimmage, trailing by 4. Clock at 1:46. Shotgun formation. And the officials are waving the play dead for a moment as Georgia may have called time.
Georgia, second timeout this half. This is a 30-second timeout.
Timeout for the Bulldogs. We'll take one, too. A quick 30-second SEC break on the Bulldogs radio network.
I believe in the Bulldog Nation, the dog walk, hunkering down, ringing the chapel bell. I believe walking into Sanford Stadium never gets old. I believe there are no shortcuts to victory. I'm Mark Rick, and I believe in Georgia Saturdays.
Fans of the red and black, log on to GeorgiaSaturdays.com for exclusive downloads. Check out the all-new 09 F-150 and Flex, and much, much more.
Ford, drive one.
.146 to play, 42-38. Georgia leads Kentucky. Cats 1st and 10 on their own 37. Shotgun snap to Cobb. Fakes the handoff, throws it down the middle. Wide open, caught at the 40-yard line. Maurice Grinter, the tight end, his first catch of the day, and he's tackled at the 35 of Georgia. Prince Miller makes the tackle. They actually spotted on the 34. First down, and the clock stops.
And it's first pass they've thrown over 5 yards all day. Came in a timely place for him.
He was wide open. Cats just like that in Dogs territory on the 34. Handed off straight ahead to Dixon. Dixon trying to bull his way for some yards. Not much there. And they stop the clock with 1:27 to go. Cats call a timeout as the ball is on the 32. Darryl Gamble made the stop
Second timeout
for
this
Georgia.
half.
Kentucky
This is a
timeout. We'll take
timeout.
one, too. 30-second SEC timeout. Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
So the other day, I was watching the game on TV, and I kept seeing commercial after commercial with car companies comparing their trucks to Toyota, saying they can tow as much as a Toyota truck or haul as much as a Toyota truck. Well, you know, all this talk got me thinking, instead of driving a truck that has a lot of things like a Toyota truck, wouldn't it just make sense to buy, you know, a Toyota truck?
Nothing compares to Toyota. Toyota, moving forward.
Come on, D.
1:27 to go in the ball game. Cats have the ball on the Georgia 32-yard line. 2nd down and 8. Cobb's in the shotgun. He's been in the game all day. Dixon's the lone set back to the right. Takes the snap. Cobb in the pocket. Throws and caught at the 28 and down right there by Asher Allen as they complete the pass to Kyrus Langster. A gain of about 4 on the play, and the clock is moving at 1:12, 1:11. Now less than that. Cats up at the 27-yard line. They're on Georgia's 27. It's 3rd down. In the pocket. Cobb lobs it to the near sideline, and it is out of bounds and incomplete. Almost intercepted by Rashad Jones, but the play took place out of bounds about 1.5 yards, and it's going to be 4th down for the Cats. Tried to go to Grinter again.
Well, great coverage there by Georgia. Georgia played cover 2, and Kentucky tried to fit the ball in on the corner, and Cobb lobbed it up there. Really no place to go with the football. Lucky it's not picked off. But, boy, how big is this play right now?
Clock stopped. Is that a 58 or 59 on the clock? It looks like 59 seconds. It's hard to tell. Some bulbs are out on the scoreboard. 4th down and 2 for the Cats. Here's the ball game. They snap it to Cobb. He rolls to the right. He's looking. He's a left-hander. He's in trouble, and he just flings it, and it is incomplete. It's Georgia's ball. And now a late flag comes in. Back near the 40-yard line. It might be a face mask. Oh, my goodness. Personal foul, face mask on the Dogs. Oh, Kentucky's just been given CPR. It'll be a 15-yard penalty and a 1st down and 51 seconds to go.
Face mask on the defense. Half the distance from the goal. Automatic 1st down.
Oh. Boy, did that ever just give them all new life. Cobb rolled out to his right. He's left-handed. We had all kinds of pressure on him. He couldn't get his shoulders turned around to make any kind of strong or accurate throw. We get caught with the face mask.
He got him. That was Jarius Wynn. They're on the 12, the 13, excuse me. 1st and 10 on the Dogs' 13 in the shotgun. Cobb frantically changing the play or calling the play as he jumps up behind the line of scrimmage, drops back into the shotgun. They snap it. Backpedaling. Try a screen. Oh, we intercepted it. Did Dobbs just intercept it? He did. DeMarcus Dobbs intercepts the screen at the 18-yard line. Randall Cobb on his knees with his face buried in the turf back at the 33. And DeMarcus Dobbs, who had an interception return for a touchdown against Central Michigan, comes up with a huge defensive play to maybe save it for Georgia.
And Dobbs got up there, picked that off just with one hand. What a great athletic play. Woo!
Holy smokes. 18-yard line for Georgia. Cats have a timeout left, according to the scoreboard. 46 seconds to go. Georgia up in the victory formation. Cats up on the line of scrimmage. Stafford takes a knee.
It's the sweetest formation in football. And I'm not sure if it's ever been a time to do it that's been more sweet than right now.
I don't believe they have any timeouts left because they're not calling any. The scoreboard says 1, but that's going to be it. Clock at 25. Dogs will have to snap it once more. And it will be a hard-fought win in Lexington. And Stafford takes a knee, hops away with the ball, flips it back to the officials. And that is the ball game. With 10 seconds to go, they'll count it down, and the Dog fans across the way in red and black will cheer on the effort. 42-38, the final score. The Dogs get their 8th win of the season, and it wasn't easy. 42-38, I'm out of breath. Oh, man.
It's not good when we're tired. We didn't do anything.
I did a lot of jumping. AT&T Call of the Game. That's coming up next on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network. Scott Howard back here at Commonwealth Stadium where Georgia has squeaked one out. What a ball game. 42-38 the final score as the Dogs improve to 8-2 overall, 5-2 in the SEC. Kentucky drops to 6-4 and 2-4. And it's time now for the Alpha Insurance Locker Room Show and our AT&T calls of the game here this afternoon. Well, Georgia, on the game-winning drive, completed a 78-yard pass from Stafford to Muhammad Massaquoi. It was a short pass, but Muhammad ran for, I think he caught it, I don't know, somewhere around the 30, 35-yard line, and then he just burst down the field and got it inside the Kentucky 10. And that set up our first AT&T call of the game. It was third and 11? Third and 11 for Georgia. And, well, we'll just let you hear how the Dogs improvised the play. Here's the first AT&T call of the game. A 78-yard pass play took the Dogs from the 15 down inside the Cats 10. Now we send Marino out into the right slot, and Samuel is the lone setback. No Sean in motion, back and forth. Play action from Stafford. Stafford avoids the sack, fakes, runs to the near sideline, still looking, throws it into the end zone, and touchdown! Touchdown, A.J. Green, back right corner of the end zone. That put the Dogs ahead 42-38 with the point after, but there was time on the clock, and you knew Kentucky was going to give it a finish. The Cats got deep into Georgia territory. The Dogs held on fourth down, but Georgia was flagged for a personal foul face mask penalty, which gave Kentucky new life. And that brings us to our second and final AT&T call of the game with the contest on the line. They're on the 12, the 13, excuse me. First and 10 on the Dogs 13 in the shotgun. Cobb frantically changing the play or calling the play as he jumps up behind the line of scrimmage, drops back into the shotgun. They snap it. Backpedaling, try a screen. Oh, we intercepted it. Did Dobbs just intercept it? He did. DeMarcus Dobbs intercepts the screen at the 18-yard line. DeMarcus Dobbs with his second interception of the year. He's got bragging rights because our corners don't have any picks, and he's got two. DeMarcus Dobbs, the defensive end, coming up with one of the big plays of the game. There's Georgia preserves the victory 42-38, and Auburn is up next, and that's next week. That's our AT&T calls of the game. Coming up next, it's Hondo checking the scores, and don't forget Coach Mark Richt on the AT&T Bulldog Hotline this Monday night, 8:06, right here on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network. Snap, hold, kick, left. The bench explodes.
2 steps I take and calling out your name. I'm crying out again. It's never enough. Can I bring back better days? And now I see these walls closing in on me. Have been in here too long, must break away. All this pain won't let me go. Take it away, take it away, get another day. Take it away, I'm just singing away another day.
King, the lone setback. He's about 7 or 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers to the far side for the Dogs, going right to left. Stretch handoff to Caleb King. Big hole! 30, 35, 40. Caleb running behind blockers. 50, 40, 30. Go Caleb! 15, 10, 5. Yes, sir! Touchdown!